Well, they said all protocol changed after Columbine.
Even so, when the shooting started to go in, they were,
but at the same time, there are, I don't know, it's like these windows. Like I always thought, a better company when it comes to ethics. Well, how do you find it comes to standing behind the guy with the gun, obviously, but if you need windows, doors, four-sided, you can rely on K&H. I know that for sure because
and that would be a pretty scary thought to go in a door knowing that somebody's got an automatic weapon.
so many years
Be terrifying, but that's what they signed up for.
yeah, it's a job, and you got a gun.
And I bet if they had a kid in there, they would have
What do
changed
you
their
think
minds.
if teachers had, what if a teacher, without telling anybody, he was armed in that school and then blew away the guy, he'd probably get in trouble.
The media would crucify him.
They would.
Well, not if it went down the way you're talking.
Even if it did, they would
No,
crucify
they would.
him. Media is
I
terrible.
describe you guys are weird.
You're
Yeah, we're weird.
If it turned out good, it wouldn't have been.
No,
Of
you're
course it
wrong,
wouldn't
Mark.
have
They
been.
would find ways to criticize him.
Look at they just had one over the weekend in Oklahoma where they shot, a guy came in the store and the lady chased him out shooting at him.
Came in the store what?
To
That's
rob
not.
it,
You can
to
have.
rob it.
You can have a gun at your store.
But I'll guarantee you they'll get her on,
Get her on what? Missing? I'd lock her up too if she missed. I'd send her to gun school. I don't know, man. I'm more of a realist than you guys. If it worked out good, how can they possibly
you're
complain?
just too liberal.
Although, the tax cuts seem to work out good, and boy, they keep complaining, so maybe. Do you have automation in your entire place over here, or no? Can you, like, turn all your lights and fans, everything?
It's not wired like that.
That's not.
I had my other house wired completely. I mean, everything.
Even the lights, like bathroom lights.
And heating and air, and every room I could control from any room and any switch. It was so good. I loved it because I finished it. They had it all wired.
Do buy and build
God,
it
man.
off the top.
Brought to you by God. I'm sorry. Get me that list as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
working.
And then Plumline we can take care of, and then we'll give their offers, and then and then you nix the others.
How about a smart toaster?
So Mark, right now they have what's called IoT, Internet of Things, where everything in your home will communicate forever. Everything will communicate. That's a good topic to talk about.
Oh, how about the...
Are you guys, which ones do you guys sell? Like Nexia, what's your
the
big
different
one you
posts
sell?
where they have
Is it Nexia?
cars will actually start advertising.
Honeywell.
Oh, God. Okay, guys.
And they all
Well, Nexia is the
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, and welcome to your week. This is the time that we try to make your week a little better by helping
We
you.
like to solve problems. We like to answer questions. We like to take complaints and make your life just a little easier. What I love about the show, no matter where you come from, when it comes to politics, no matter where you come from, as far as lifestyle, as far as station, status, economic tiers, we help everyone. This is the show where all borders come down, and the only border we have is against those who lie, cheat, and rip off. You see, this is one area where we all agree. No one agrees people should be cheated or lied to. No one. I mean, we all want justice. 303-713-TALK is a start. We've been doing it in Denver close to 40 years. The longest running radio show with the same host on the air. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255, solving problems. So, we have a lot to talk about today. Home services, if you'd like to talk about it, we do have Bob Logan from Plumline Services. Of course, he's here as a guest to chime in. If you don't have the questions, fine. If you do, fine. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And we have our friend, common man, I call them. They're not common. This guy's Joe Phillips, AAA Emergency Tree Service. By the way, I'm just curious about the emergency tree service. Joe, you don't do regular tree service? Is it only emergency?
No. We
okay.
do emergency tree work and also normal tree work as well.
Don't you think you should say that?
Yeah, actually, I say it right on the truck.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's just the way she put it down. What's the actual name of your company?
That's it.
Oh,
yeah.
AAA Emergency Tree Service.
Yeah.
Well, now, if you just needed trim a tree trim, would you think to call AAA, Emergency Tree Service?
Maybe, but I see your point.
Anyway, he's a good guy. Anyway, Joe's been with us for years. How long you been with us?
God.
A long time.
Yep.
You had hair.
Hey, don't rub it in.
303-713. Hey, look, I don't have room to talk. 303-713-8255. Let's get right to the phones. We start off with something serious here. Any problem, question, or complaint, we'll try to help you. Michael, what is going on, Mike?
Yes, I'm having problems with my grandmother and trying to attain justice for abuse that she had endured for 13 years.
Now, wait a minute. 13 years of abuse with a caregiver. Was it in her home?
Yes, it was in my grandmother's home.
And it was someone hired by her, by the family? How did this person get into the home?
It was her youngest daughter, and it was through a family caregiving
Was this
program.
proven? Was this proven, this abuse?
It was proven with my grandmother as of this past December 26th, where she has seen it as abuse.
Okay, what kind? Tell me what the abuse is.
Okay, what the abuse was that anytime my grandmother had mentioned any of her other siblings or asked about her finances, she would get yelled at viciously to the point of saliva.
So do you think this woman was taking advantage of her?
Yes, she was taking advantage of her the entire time she was in her care.
All right, hold on a second. I'm wondering if we should get David Salisbury just to talk about the legalities of this. By the way, this hour brought to you by Buy and Build. We talk about consumer stuff all the time. Buy and Build, 4800 Washington Street, for less than wholesale stuff, especially like flight fixtures and plumbing. And oh, it's wonderful. God, you send your contractor or you go there yourself, and you'll find such great interior finishing products like cabinets. Cabinets are 10 times, listen now what I just said, 10 times cheaper, less expensive than at big box stores. Yeah, that's buyandbuild.net, 4800 Washington Street. And as I said, we have David Salisbury, who's an elder law attorney, that might be able to help. But here's the thing. This is not a situation where there are bumps and bruises, right? We're not talking about physical abuse. Is that right, Michael?
Actually, we are talking about physical abuse as well.
Okay. Did she get arrested?
No, she did not get arrested.
Well, why didn't your grandmother file charges?
My grandmother had undergone a mastectomy, a hysterectomy. She had a carotid artery where she had an artery drilled out.
Is she right now not? Is she not in her right mind right now? Is she incapacitated?
She's not incapacitated. She just is a little bit slow. She doesn't think.
But she doesn't have a guardian. She thinks on her own. She hasn't been ruled incompetent.
She hasn't been ruled incompetent.
Okay.
She just is extremely slow.
What do you want, Michael? Let's just get right to it. What do you want today, right now? You said elder abuse going on for years. What do you want today? What prompted the call? How do we help you?
I'm just trying to get. I've been trying to contact the authorities with my grandmother ever since I found out that my grandmother had endured that the entire 13 years. I witnessed it 2 weeks when the caregiver had pulled the shoulder and she was on medications. And
this is her youngest daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
it might be water under the bridge. It might be too late to do anything. Did this daughter take money that like
yes.
thousands? How much?
Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay. So your grandmother had money in the bank?
Well, actually, she had her Social Security and also her pension that the abuser had locked down in the safe.
But right now, if we were to look at your grandmother, are there hundreds of thousands missing from a bank account?
Yes, as far as past bank accounts down in Durango that were closed out and. All of the money was taken out of it.
It's going to be impossible. You're not going to be able to do anything about that. What about her house? Does she own a home?
No, but we do have recordings of the actual abuser.
Does she rent a house?
For a third of a house. Well, no, she paid on a mortgage for a house.
Where does your grandmother live?
She's currently living up in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Whose home is it?
Escape the abuser.
Whose home is it?
It's our home, but it's the landlord's. We don't own this one.
Okay, and your grandmother does not own real estate?
She actually has a trailer down in Durango that we found out when we were reporting this that's still registered in her name that the abuser we have recorded said that was sold and put in towards the house.
Okay. Does she own land? Does she own land?
No.
Okay.
No.
So basically, she doesn't have real estate. How much cash does she have to her name right now?
She doesn't have anything to her name.
Okay.
Right
now, and you're saying your grandmother had hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you have proof of an account that had hundreds of thousands of dollars in it that was closed? Just one?
No, I don't have the proof of that.
Does anyone have proof that she ever had an account where you can show me a statement that says 200,000 or 150,000 or something? Do you have anything of the sort?
I've been trying to obtain that and have been unable to obtain that, and that's in regard to her father's will that was left in her name.
So you don't have any statements that would prove your grandmother ever had money, and where would she have gotten these hundreds of thousands of dollars?
It would have been from her father that had his will and his estate and trusts and everything that he had.
So you're alleging basically that your grandmother's youngest daughter, your aunt, lived with your grandma, spent her money, and beat her up.
And abused her, yes.
Yes.
Is your
but right now your grandmother is out of the situation, right?
Yes.
And you're looking to get the youngest daughter in trouble, is that right?
Well, I'm having her held accountable for the abuse that she put her through. My grandmother thought that
without witnesses, it's going to be next to impossible unless the grandmother herself can remember and will report it, and you call the police where it took place and you file charges. And
we've done that.
Okay, what police department?
We've called the Durango Police Department, and we've also been directed also to the Sheriff's Department because it occurred in Durango city limits and also in La Plata County, outside of the city limits.
And what's the name of the county?
Places. And it's La Plata County.
Okay, so you are going to pursue charges, right? What did you need from us? I think you're going about this the right way. It's going to be extremely difficult, Michael. This happens so much that you're not the only one. This elder abuse stuff happens so much. But what are you hoping to do right now? I mean, what do you think we can do?
I'm just hoping to have justice for my grandmother and have.
Well, what can we do to help you, though? I don't understand our role in this. Now, we would help if there was something we could undo or something she bought or something she did recently. Tell me, what were you hoping we could do? We're at your service. This is terrible, but I'm not sure we can help.
What I was just hoping is maybe you can help me to direct me to someone that can go over La Plata County and Durango County, or Durango city limits, because we have spoke with lawyers that are familiar with the provisions on statute of limitations for at-risk adults in Denver area, and they are aware of that as when the adult becomes aware of it.
But what do you want with an attorney, though? Are you going to sue the daughter? You could civilly sue for abuse and stuff. You can. If it went on within the last 3 years, you could possibly get a lawsuit, a civil suit, alleging financial and physical harm and fraud, but it's extremely expensive. You won't get an attorney to do it on contingency. However, there are organizations that help adults at risk that we've been in touch with, Suzanne. I'm not sure what is in his area, but okay, Michael, here's what we can do. We can look for any public agencies that might be able to assist you, or private ones. You know, like Suzanne, every now and then we come across people who help the handicapped or help the elderly or help their organizations that can at least get them some resources. Listen, this is extremely frustrated. This guy's pissed. His grandmother's been abused. He wants justice. I understand. But sometimes it just can't be done. I hate to tell you that. Okay, now Jack's saying she can't go on property due to a restraining order. Is that right, Jax?
Oh,
Jax,
I'm on hold.
You're on with me right now, Jax. I'm going to come back to you. I'll come back to you for the bulk of this. I just want to know, in short, you can't go on your own property. Did I hear this right?
You're very close. I own around 50%. I cannot only not go to the property, I cannot email my co-owner or her lawyer.
Okay, is the co-owner related to you?
No, we were business associates and bought a building together.
Okay.
And then that was about a year ago. We settled on the building, and I had that one meeting with her for the settlement, and then post that meeting, she has refused to meet with me.
And she got a restraining order.
Eventually, first.
But you guys still own it together, is that right?
Yes.
All right, hold on a sec. This is very complicated. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, I bring up the name, I think about them every now and then. These people do remarkable stuff when it comes to tinnitus. Now, I know they're a hearing center. They can help you with hearing loss for sure. But I want to concentrate on tinnitus. If you have tinnitus and you're looking for a permanent solution, not just a Band-Aid, not just a cover-up, but a permanent solution, contact Dr. Patty or Dr. Lisa and ask about Desincra. This is a treatment that is sweeping the country. A permanent, I say a permanent solution as opposed to a cure, because there really is no cure, by the FDA, but this has shown not to come back after using this treatment. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. They also have a reduced price trial period for this you should ask about. 303-534-0163, help4ringing.com.
Let's talk. So we were talking about voiceover work, and I understand you're not looking to make money or get rich or do anything, but in general, I just want to tell you about voiceover work, because I've had this question before. Voiceovers are probably the most difficult area in broadcasting to get anything going, because people never say, and they never say, hey, I need to hire a voice. TV stations and radio stations sometimes have what they call an image voice. If you listen closely to Channel 9, some of their commercials, their news intros or promotions have a voice that they've been using for years. It's their voice, it's their image. That voice is a retainer. They're put on retainer, and then they send him stuff electronically, what they need, and he sends back files. And some TV radio stations do it too. But then you have, let's say, commercials. And commercials, I call voice du jour. No one cares. No one really cares, unless it's a personality you're buying, like a John Elway or someone. But the uniqueness of a voice probably has, which I find astounding, little or no value in the broadcast world as a standalone product. It's usually coupled with a message or with a personality, or the time that's different is when you have something unique. It used to be, to have a broadcast voice, you had to be like, hello, this is, and everyone wanted the announcer voice. And then it changed to where people actually wanted, they wanted like character in the voice. I'm trying to explain how that would be. If you, for example, you would hear the promos that used to be, let's say, for Old Yeller. Old Yeller was a nice dog. He was, it's a characterization. It's like almost a cartoon of a real voice. Or you hear a woman saying, when I was young, my daughter, used this product and I loved it. Or they have something about their voice that fits it.
Or doing a takeoff on Mike Trump.
Oh, no, those are impersonations. Those are totally different. Those are absolutely in demand. If you do a good one, you can actually get paid. You get paid for this by the spot. You can sometimes get residuals, but you have to be like very extremely good at one. So impersonations are in a class all by themselves. If you can do impersonations, you can get some good stuff. But there's image voicing, there's impersonations, then there's character voicing.
Depending on what it is,
Now, character voicing,
like
in general, just to do a commercial,
we just can't be competitive.
not in demand as much as characters themselves. For example,
Or something?
I am.
in a way, top reps I always say, it's very difficult for big kids to read scripts.
Yeah, like I said, some of the work we do, but when it comes to complete remodels,
Really sounds better. are really in scripture and adult project. That's and the most money you get for voice work, the most you can make is if you are the voice actor. You become a star. Many times they use stars in those voice roles just because of the dramatic training. People think they use them for the voice itself, but really, who cares if Jack Black's doing the voice? They do it because of the reflection. And if I have the one thing that I found for you, is when you switch, the quality of voice is not
If I do 2 of these, would they fit in that same box?
I think you can get like that, yeah. You should be able to get double,
Yeah, but these are all wireless ones. I'm saying, will 2 of these fit?
yes.
Yes. So 2 singles will fit in here. Yeah, I got to move to the paddle type, so they're all Wi-Fi. So when I fit 2 of these into there, come out of your shirt yourself. Do you have side by side? And then what would I do for a cover?
Pretty straightforward. I don't think I.
So you're saying these 2 covers are the same size as one of
just
these?
overall.
No, you want to get a cover like that, but it has the
paddle.
paddles open.
That's what's weird, is that
The outer
Like yours is
cover is
more
the same as the same as those.
That's 2 of these?
No, it'll be one with 2 of them.
Okay.
Absolute radon safety. What does that say to you? It means
Absolute Radon Safety. It is a sponsor of mine that I love because they do the testing starting at around $20. But many of you have already heard you at high levels when you went to sell your house. Or you heard that the house you want to buy has high levels. From a home inspector, don't ever let them tell you how to mitigate. I'm not saying they're dishonest or bad, but I'm telling you they don't specialize in it. Absolute Radon Safety, what I love about them is they put a cap on it. You know, people have gotten ripped off with mitigation systems. So people get so nervous, oh my God, I got radon. If you are concerned about radon and it's above the recommended safety levels, about half the homes are in Denver, here's what you do. You call Absolute Radon Safety for testing or mitigation. For the mitigation, about 90% of their systems, 90 to 95%, can be done complete, $899. So you see, that puts a price on it. So it's not an insurmountable thing. You negotiate it. Now, in those 5 or 10% of cases that are more complicated, it still isn't that much, just a few $100s more. So call them if you have any concerns about radon. 303-880-0682, 303-880-0682. I love saving people money and giving them real information. So by the way, if you ever have any questions, give us a call. That's why Plumline Services is here. And Bob, right now, with cold weather, I fear people make emotional decisions on furnaces. And one of the biggest scams, and you have come across it, are cracked heat exchangers.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what do? How do people, I mean, they don't want to die. They call someone out to their home, it's late, and they say they have a cracked heat exchanger.
Well, I would always get a second opinion on a cracked heat exchanger.
Absolutely. And you do, if someone's told they have a free heat exchanger, you will do a free second opinion.
We'll do a free second opinion. In fact, just because of the complexities of heat exchangers and sometimes those cracks are hard to see, we do a second visual on our side. And then if we have to condemn a furnace and bring it back to our shop after we replace it, we will completely strip it down just to confirm that, in fact, it is cracked. There is room for
if you bring
human
something
error.
back and it's not cracked, and you have already replaced the furnace, what do?
I will give them 100% of their money back.
And have you done that on your own in the past?
Unfortunately, we've done it twice over the last 3 years.
That's why I mentioned it.
Yes.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255, plumlineservices.com in the house. Hey, Robert, what about this letter? What's going on? Oh, Jax, I'm sorry. Right, Jax, I forgot. I got to come back to you in a second. Robert, what about this scam letter?
I received a letter in the mail a week ago, Saturday.
Yes.
And it states there was a gentleman that passed away 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's a scam.
And his name and mine is similar. But this letter is from a bank in Canada.
Yeah, it's a scam.
And they said if I would contact them, they would do the paperwork to leave me as an executor.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a fail-safe way not to get ripped off in that and to explore it. But first, I want to go back to Jax. That slipped my mind. I should have written it down. So, Jax, I want to go back now. You say you're a business partner with this person?
No, that I was business partners with her.
Okay,
while we were buying the building.
What kind of business? What kind of business were you in with her?
Okay, so she runs a non-for-profit, a 501c3, and I have a for-profit business.
Yes.
Called John D. Superfoods. And we were going to buy this building together. I was going to get 53% of the square footage to run my business.
Oh, I
and
see.
She's going to get the rest to run her non.
Oh, it's more like a joint venture. Okay, so Jax,
yes.
What went wrong?
Well, what went wrong was while I was ending my business relationship with her, I was also getting divorced. I'm legally divorced now, but the financial situation hasn't been sorted out yet. So I'm legally divorced from my ex-husband. And
what went wrong, though? How did this fall apart with her? You guys were going to buy the building. What happened?
Well, I don't know. As soon as we settled on the building last February.
Yes, you mean you closed?
We closed.
Okay.
Right? My money came over directly to title from Australia.
Okay.
I spent 17 years in Australia, and I got retirement money there.
Okay.
So we settled. We had a deed and a co-ownership agreement.
Yes.
And she was screaming at me saying that I never signed it, but I did sign it in April. And her signed copy was locked up in my office at my building, and I couldn't get to my financial records or any of that until this January.
Then what?
She wouldn't let me get my inventory out of the building, and a lot of things were...
But, Jax, you skipped a part. You guys bought a building together. How did things go south?
I think that it was my ex-husband and we had two other partners.
So you never moved. You never moved into the building?
Oh no, I moved in everything but my computer.
Okay. So right now, are you going to operate your business in that building?
I cannot. I am operating it from my home in Lakewood again, which is where I was operating it from.
But what did you get for your money if you bought 53% of the building?
A lot of grief. No,
I'm asking, do you have anything stored there?
Well, everything was removed by my ex-husband and my fiancé, who that's the fellow who contacted you. Everything was removed in January. But I couldn't operate my business from anywhere for about 8 months.
Jax, do you have a permanent restraining order against you, or is it temporary?
Okay, it became permanent because I was out of town when it was filed.
Okay.
But I have filed a motion to...
you got to have it lifted.
I have filed a motion to have it dismissed or modified.
Good.
Because she put in there that I wasn't allowed to email her or any of my lawyers or anybody email her.
Well, that's ridiculous. So, Jax, I don't want to exaggerate, but what is she trying to do? Is she just trying to get you to pay for the building but not be there?
I do not know. I honestly do not know what she's trying to do.
Are we allowed, does the restraining order, we can't call her because would that be violating it if we call on your behalf? Do you know that?
No, really. No, I don't know. She claims that 5 emails were sent to her after the restraining order and before I filed that motion. But 2 of those emails were sent by one of my employees.
Well,
by accident.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Jack. I don't know what to tell you. If you have a restraining order, most of the time, none of your agents can contact her either, which means...
that's what she's saying. Yeah, that's what she's saying, that nobody can contact her.
But see, this is like weird. Mark, what would you do if we had a business deal and then I go and file a restraining order? I mean, really, what would you do if you couldn't even... you can't talk to her attorneys or anyone?
I don't know. It's pretty odd.
It's a phone call or an email from me, and way prior to the restraining order, I was like, look, all my inventory...
I guess I'd hire an attorney to handle it.
Yeah, you know what? This has got to be modified, and any judge... It's called a court of equity. Any judge is going to modify that. You're saying, look to the court. Your Honor, I invested. I own part of this building. It's nonsense that I can't communicate. There's got to be a way to communicate. So right now, Jax, you're not using the building at all. Is that right?
I have not been to the building since October.
Okay, you're not using the building at all, is that right? You're not using the building at all. It is vacant. Your side is vacant.
I don't know who she's moved in. She was supposed to give me...
You have no idea, right, because you're not there.
I have no idea who's there.
Okay. You need to do something quickly. You do. I wish I could help you. What were you hoping we could do?
Okay, so she has frivolous charges against me in both Lakewood and Denver.
Charges like what? Give me one frivolous charge. Just the charge, not the story, the charge.
Attempt to violate a restraining order.
Okay, I understand that. This woman sounds like she's a little unbalanced. Really, I mean, she does. What's the name of her charity?
Should I say, Scott? I suppose I should.
I don't care. You're not.
Concept.
What is it called?
Jovial Concept.
What do they do? What do they do?
I don't know what they do now, but what they did when I was working with her, and on her fundraising board, what they did was grow organic food all over Edgewater, Denver, and Lakewood.
If Jovial Concepts wants to give her side of the story, she's welcome to call us, 303-MARTINO. Jax, we can't do anything. Our hands are tied. If you send us a copy of the restraining order, we will examine it to see what we can do for you without violating it, okay? That's what we can do. So, Suzanne, have her send us the restraining order, all right? Stem cell therapy. If you want stem cell therapy, there is really only one way to get it, and that is by harvesting the stem cells from yourself and then redelivering them, because stem cells cannot be shipped or manipulated and shipped. Therefore, any clinic that says they have stem cell therapy and they do not get those stem cells from you, they do not have stem cell therapy. And I will bet anyone $5,000 right now who can prove differently. That's because you have to have the MDs harvest it and then keep them alive and re-inject them with imagery. Now, insist on Centeno Schultz. Now, of course, there are other clinics that work, and they are run by doctors, but please avoid any clinic that ships in amniotic fluid and calls it stem cell therapy. Centeno Schultz has been doing it from the beginning with 14,000 patients in their database. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201.
Like certain wealth strategies, provides financial planning with a focus on...
More to that story.
You know, those restraining orders are misused. They're misused all the time. But for it to go from temporary to permanent...
Absolutely. And she's out of town. She's in Australia when they did it.
Well, it's the ultimate way to make somebody, just make you feel like you're right about something. And making somebody wrong.
Don't you got to serve them to do that? Or?
Yeah, they have to be served for the temporary, and then they have to be served for the hearing to make it permanent. And if you don't make it permanent, it expires. And in order to make it, the temporary is given out like candy.
Right.
The permanent, you have to have proof that there's harm.
And for her to say she was in Australia, it's just impossible to be served, huh?
Well, I don't know what happened. She should have gone there.
I don't even know what this jovial concept does. It looks like they grow food.
Yeah, community garden.
Well, I don't even understand why a restraining order went out. What the hell happens there?
You saying it's a scam, Bob?
I'm kidding. I just looked it up. It looks like they're community gardens.
How do I donate to her? I'd like to give you some dirt.
I just don't understand that part, the restraining order.
Well, can you get a restraining order on anybody for any reason? Don't
You can admit for a temporary restraining, a TRO.
I know, but you got to have a reason, though.
If you did nothing,
yes, of course you have to have a reason, but you don't have to have proof.
So if they can prove it's false, I would say there's got to be.
Never, ever.
You're saying this would...
Almost never do they not grant.
But what I'm saying is, what they do it under false
Or even
pretense.
a double, you know, like anything, they'll get
Yeah,
trouble.
you wanna
But
do
they have
one
to
that-
have, they have no evidence is necessary. If you go and I say, I feel you're a danger to me, there has nothing, I'll get it. But in about, I think it's 3 days or whatever it is, it expired. In order to make it permanent, then I truly do need proof and evidence.
Oh, 3 days is all?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You might think it's 3 days, but sometimes they might be longer. He might say, you know, I mean, a judge may say, well, you're moving out in 2 weeks, I'll give you 2 weeks. I don't know, but for permanent, it's serious stuff. You don't get a permanent restraining order unless there's a default, they don't show up, then you get it, or you have proof of imminent danger. It's not just you don't like the person, it's got to be danger. And man, it's amazing to me how many people get them.
Well, the nut down in Pueblo, the neighbor said that the judge would not award her a restraining order unless she physically touched her. You know,
You mean
Pueblo,
they wouldn't give her a temporary?
the lady I talked to today said they wouldn't give her a restraining order. Now,
Then he must have thought she was a nut. Because they're not hard to get. Man, we hear that all the time. They're really easy to get, really. So if she couldn't get a temporary, then maybe the guy's the judge.
She's going to be on. She's going to be on her lid.
Okay. Then the judge must have thought, you're some kind of nut. That's the only thing I can think.
But that was the nutty lady, and like yells and screams. And
wait, that one in Pueblo?
Yeah.
The one we had video of?
Right.
What about her?
Her other neighbor is now complaining about her because nothing could be.
Oh, really?
Right.
And who couldn't get a restraining order? The other neighbor?
The other neighbor went to the judge and paid for to go to court, and the judge said no.
What?
Yeah.
What did the judge? Oh, wait a minute. What does she want? What a restraining order for?
She just said a restraining order.
What's restraint? She lives there. How can she get a restraining order?
Well, that's a good point.
Well, she doesn't live with her. She can't get a. You can't get a restraining order to take away someone's rights. In other words, that woman has a right to stand on her porch and yell like a son of a bitch. She can yell as long as she doesn't hurt the public. That could be disturbance of the peace, but you don't get a restraining order for that. That's against the law. You know what I mean? Like, what would the restraining order be? Now, that woman was coming out and going over to her fence, saying,
throwing stuff at her.
Or restraining order is only for your space or your person. So there had to be something different there.
Could they do put big air horns each neighbor, and as soon as she comes out, start yelling, blow it?
Until the authorities say it's disturbing the peace.
6:30. Cindy on line 3.
Who's Cindy?
That's it.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Simply Floors, Inc. Not ink like in a pen, but ink as in a corporation, Simply Floors, Inc. Really, it's
Buddy Mitchell, his heart and soul and philosophy of making less profit and passing savings on to consumers. He's part of a large buying group which puts him at par with all the big warehouses, all the big box floor covering stores. You know the theme of this show many times is saving money. And with Simply Floors, Inc., you will save money. Up to 40% or more sometimes, but up to 40% on all of your floor coverings, like laminates and luxury vinyl tile, carpeting, ceramic tile, hardwood. All you have to do is go on the website, make your own appointment, simplyfloorsinc.com. You can drop by 52nd and Ward first or afterwards, whatever you want. They provide designer services. You will love them, simplyfloorsinc.com. Okay, so here's the deal. We have Robert who said he's got this letter, and this bank in Canada wants to help him collect on money because a guy that died had the same name. Now, Robert, I want to know something. Just because he had the same name, what is this bank actually saying? Is that the money automatically goes to you because you have the same name? It doesn't make sense. What are they saying? What's the game?
According to the letter, is they'll do the paper. If I get hold of them, they'll do the paper.
But why do they say you're entitled to the money?
Well, they don't really, except that our last name and his first name is the same as my middle name.
So are they insinuating that you could pass for him?
They're insinuating that I could claim his money. From
okay,
the
I
bank.
have the letter, And obviously it's a scam. I mean, let's face it, guys. I mean, you know, but they say they're going to do the paperwork, and they don't want anything from you?
No. What it says is they will you know, when the paperwork is done, then they will divide the money.
What do you mean divide it? Them and you?
They'll get, between him and I.
Okay. Now, if you don't have to do, well, first of all, it could be fraudulent, let's put it that way. If it's true, and the bank wants to take that money and split it, that could be fraudulent. But I'm saying, if you don't give any information on your own, if they're not asking for anything, then just tell them, okay, go ahead, and then give me the money.
Okay.
But they're not. They're going to want something. They're going to want something. They're going to want a signature. They're going to want an account. They're going to want something. Don't give them your account. If they say they're going to wire the money into your account, don't give it to them unless you open up an account specifically for this, and you keep no money in it but maybe $10 or whatever you need to open the account. And then, because they're going to try to hit that account. So
that was our feeling.
Well, you know it's a scam.
Sure.
Now, if you just want to play along, go ahead. But the guy is saying you will apply to the bank as an extended relative to the deceased customer while I work from the inside to make sure all needed information and evidence are provided to you. The account has an open beneficiary status, which is why I have contacted you. And then since he is from your country and you both share the same last name, it's an easy thing for me to do, basically, he's saying. So if you do not make a claim, the funds would be reverted to the bank and it would just go back into the system, he said, because it was dormant. I assure you that this transaction would be handled under the due inheritance procedures and whatever. Listen, this guy is such a scam. Have you ever called the bank directly?
No. My wife looked it up on the internet, and there is a bank by that name, and I got the phone number for him, but no, we never contacted
All right,
him.
give us the phone number and the name. We're going to call the bank and ask for this Fred. Okay?
Okay.
Hold on. Suzanne, let someone get the information. We'll call this bank. It's a scam, but some people like playing along. Oh, if you ever want to hear some great playing alongs Mark and I did, you can look at YouTube. Oh, my God, some of them were so hilarious.
I remember I shot you in one.
Oh, yeah, you were going to steal my money. Oh, it was so funny because we literally had a guy on the phone who thought that Mark was going to give him money because he won something. But in order to get the money, he had to get it from his uncle. I played his uncle. And because I didn't want him to do it, he had to do it when I was sleeping. So on the radio, we had a scenario where I was sleeping, and Mark comes up and tries to get my wallet, and I wake up and catch him, and he shoots me to death. It's amazing what people...
It's all based on a true story.
Oh, you have to see it. The other time when Mark was at the store to cash the check or to get something because he was going to win millions, he was so happy he invited his pastor and the church choir along, and they were outside the store singing. Do you remember that, Mark? God, it's just crazy. Speaking of crazy, Cindy has a crazy neighbor, and we have seen video of this neighbor. And we talked to the person on the other side of this neighbor. Cindy, that neighbor renders your entire neighborhood off limits. In other words, if you wanted to sell your home, you couldn't.
That's right.
This woman is so crazy. She stands outside on her porch and simply screams.
Mm-hmm.
She's schizophrenic or, I mean, what's the word? I don't know. There's so many... I don't know.
Nuts.
She's totally nuts. Cindy, there's no other way to put it. But you want to share the frustration you're having trying to get it stopped, right?
Oh, yes. For the first few months she did this, I kept saying, tell myself, just
did it just happen all of a sudden? Cindy, how long have you been living there?
We've moved here in '94.
Okay, so it didn't. I need to know how it started. Hold on, Cindy. We'll come back to you. This is outrageous what is going on. Outrageous. Art of Granite. You just heard me talk about Simply Floors. You heard me talk about buy and build. Now let's talk about this wonderful place. And you know what? They do a great job. Art of Granite. Mitch Floria, Art of Granite. You notice I always talk about the owners. I love the owners. I know them. This referral list is all about relationships. At the Art of Granite, what you'll do is you can call and get a price on the phone. So many people love to get prices. You can get a price. You give them some measurements and what you want to do, maybe a photo. Mitch will give a price on the phone, and it won't differ that much from the final price if you just do what you say. For example, I want granite, I want this, I want that. If you stick with that, it's not going to change that much. Now, you get some custom edges, some sinks, some cabinets. It's all going to be within $100 or so, or a few $100s of the original price. That's how accurate he is. And, of course, there's no obligation until you sign the contract. So call and get your price. If you like it, go to Golden, to the showroom to pick out your stuff, and then they can get it all done in 1 to 4 weeks. And they tear out and haul away everything free. All of the counter material, he's a direct importer of granite and quartz and other stone. It's all wholesale, and he never marks that up. You will love this guy. Monday through Saturday, the Front Range and Mountain Communities, 303-386-5919, 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net.
They're not answering. But I found one just on the way to the post office, 129, 1L. Okay. So I'll go ahead and take that, and then instead of coming all the way back there, I'll go to the post office. I'll pick up some stuff like that. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Yeah, before I'll do that, and because I'll bring your wallet and you hand me which credit card you want me to use. Dan, oh hey, also we can have that guy back on from Pueblo on the other side. You know, he got hit by her. Remember, we had her back on and she tried to run him down, and the judge was like, no, you threw yourself in front. No, they're being asses.
Yes, ma'am.
Betty, Mark, it's very exciting how fast it's moving now.
Betty, the one we went out to?
Adler Construction.
Anders.
So, we had 2 people go out and look at her house?
Yes.
Okay. We need, the detective needs those, like a statement from each of them of what they saw.
Okay, get one for Mark.
So
Actually, you can call Mark Shemansky.
Okay.
You got his regular number?
I got Mark.
Call him and get a report from him. Tell him exactly what you need.
Who was
and
the other one?
We'll have to call Betty and tell her we need a report from her guy.
Oh, so we only sent one guy.
Yeah.
She
We did,
thought
but
we did
when Dan went out there the first time, there was another contractor there helping.
Okay, she thought we had done 2, but we just did 1. Okay.
So get one from both.
So the DA, the sergeant with the DA is waiting until the detective gets all of his stuff together, and then he will take control of the
Perfect, but get those reports today if you can.
no, I'm gonna go down and do that
They don't
right
have
now.
bids or anything, what needs to be done, right?
No, but that's what they...
He wants to know
how
what
much work
he
was
saw.
done.
Yeah, he wants a statement of what he saw.
Well, not just what he wants a statement of how much work was actually done.
Yes, yeah, everything that.
Okay, we'll tell them how much work was done.
How much work was done, okay.
Because he can't bid it until we get the stuff from the architectural.
Right, and I told Betty that when she meets with the district attorney, that she needs to call, make the appointment after 1 o'clock so that you can be there and be her advocate, so.
Good job, Dad.
Yeah!
It's probably 20% of our business right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
Go get something to eat.
No soup for you!
Hey, I got a good trivia for you. So the ones you got.
No, I mean, we've never done any construction, never done any improvement, remodels, anything like that. We used to be a little more heavier on the commercial side. Going back 10 years, maybe 30% of our business was commercial, less than 1%.
Oh yeah, I'm just waiting on something to write.
Well, I actually didn't start. I've only been with it 9 years.
I just want you to know so that. No, it's tough.
He did. He was bitching that
But he lives in
all the
Tennessee,
leads are
he
coming
lives in
from
Tennessee,
Denver. He doesn't want someone down here.
And you just run
Who's
this
it?
operation.
Raphael.
He's he hired me so he could move to Tennessee.
Good trivia for you, Mark.
Go ahead, sir.
So he's got a.
When George was going to get married,
Yes.
he wanted to get out of it. Elaine gave him a suggestion, so did Kramer. What were those two suggestions?
Where? Tell me, ask me too. To get out of the marriage.
When George was trying to get out of getting married,
Right.
he was living with, what was her name?
Right.
Susan. He tried, Elaine gave him a suggestion, and Kramer gave him a suggestion.
Oh, really? They both gave the same?
No, two different suggestions.
Wow. That is a
In
good
a
one.
question, please give me those.
Elaine.
What did Elaine say? Neither one.
Sometimes get calls from
Elaine's was actually more fun.
He tried both of them?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
God, I remember.
Yeah,
you
let me
wanted
make sure I
to
go
marry.
in your
Do you remember how terrible it was when she was licking
No,
his
that's actually
invitation
quite
to die,
common.
and how he reacted? He was like,
go
In
get
particular emphasis
oh my God,
is getting his job.
and then,
Working in the right
who
way.
did he call the very first person for a date?
Oh, what's her name?
Yeah!
Some of my
You like short, fat, bald men.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping this weekend.
Do you remember when he was trying to get chicks?
You know,
Yes, he used.
Oh God, do you remember?
He used that picture.
Just, oh God.
It was a picture of Manhand.
Because hot girls only want guys that have hot
things
girls.
into their schedule just because they enjoy the.
Joe Lazzara. He's an attorney.
Attorney, I hope you never need. Are we going to get Joe on later to help us with a problem?
I don't think so, Tom.
He's not available. We were going to ask him about, what was that thing we were going to ask him about?
It's a teenage sexting case.
That's right. Joe Lazzara, listen, he's a criminal defense attorney, and that's what I say. I hope you never need him. This teenage sexting case, we thought of him immediately, of course, and then when it comes to DUIs and driving under the influence of marijuana and all that, and it's just, listen, it's something that is just so pervasive right now. Just be smart. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke and drive. If you get caught up in the system, maybe you deserve the penalty, you know. Here's what Joe will help you do. He'll help you get through the system. No matter what, if you're guilty or innocent, you need an attorney. You can't do it alone. 303-429-6200, 303-429-6200, LazzaraLegal.com, Joseph A. Lazzara. Speaking of which, I wanted to ask you, do you have employees, Joe, over at AAA Emergency Tree Service? It's not a one-man job, is it?
Pretty much it is.
Is it really?
Actually?
You managed to do it yourself?
Yep.
So, Bob, over at Plumline, do you do random drug testing?
We do, yes. We do drug testing when people are hired upon their...
Do you test for marijuana?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
We do, yes. And that...
Cocaine?
Well,
everything.
if you're going to do marijuana...
PCP?
You're going to do everything.
We do a SAN 9, so that covers everything.
Okay.
Including marijuana, yes.
Acid?
So, listen...
I don't know what that is, Mark.
I'm just going through the list of what Dan does.
Oh, 303-713-TALK. 71. Are you wearing white, red Beats headset? Is that those are those Beats? Those are overpriced Beats.
Those are
no,
those are the
those aren't
cheapies.
Beats, Tom. Those are $10.
Those are the Vivitar.
No, excuse me. Beats
are expensive.
Terrible.
Oh
They're
no,
terrible.
I know. We bought those for the teenagers.
And they're not good. They just have a name.
They're Dr. Dre.
So this crazy neighbor with Cindy. Cindy, you don't even have to convince us. We know this neighbor's crazy. I mean, she's nuts. I don't know what's wrong with her. I kind of feel sorry for her. But here's what I want to know. You've been living there since '94, and it didn't just happen. Tell us how it all began.
Well, actually, I think she moved in, my best guess would be like 3 years ago. And
Okay, so she's right when she moved in, she started being nuts.
I'd say give or take maybe nine months or a year. She was like...
We heard she's got some rich parents that live like in Boulder. Is there any truth to that?
Just what I hear. I have no idea.
Have you heard the same thing?
Well, this woman looks like
I've
she's in
heard
her
the same
50s,
thing.
Mark.
Yeah, I know. And apparently her parents, she lived with her parents in Boulder. You know, I've heard this from two different people now. And her parents live in Boulder. They have a lot of money. She finally drove them batty. And then basically they shipped her off and bought her a house down there.
Mm-hmm. Right next to me. How about that?
All right, so you're calling us because...
Because it continues. Saturday I had 2 run-ins with her. My husband was just in the backyard he had to go snake somebody's house, so he was loading up his truck, and she went out there and started screaming at him.
Why do the police let this happen? Why don't they keep arresting her? Seriously, she is disturbing the peace.
We've asked numerous times. They just, I don't
Dan,
know.
what do they say? You've contacted
I haven't contacted. Daphne did, but what they say is she goes inside, so they can't even go. Or
come on.
She goes in her house.
Oh, they can't knock on the door. They're police!
Hey, I know. Well, look at the one in Florida.
Are they truly saying that? Are they truly saying they can't?
We're out here. I was in my backyard recording any interaction of the police. They'd even bang on her window with their flashlight, and she just hides in her house.
Let me get this straight. In Pueblo, if you break the law, you can hide out in your house and they won't get you, because all you have to do is not answer the door. There you go. Pueblo Police Department. There it is. Well, they're not answering the door. I mean, we can't get them. You know, they're breaking the law, but we can't do anything about it. Suzanne, I want to call them again, Pueblo Police Department. Why do they allow this to happen? Why? In fact, that police department has to be one of the worst next to Inglewood that I have ever in my entire life heard about. Not only, well, we'll talk about it coming back.
I'm Bob.
Tom.
What were you going to say, ape? You went and you switched your train of thought?
What?
She was, you were going to say ape something?
Ape shit. You know, I had to beat myself one time when he was gone. I told him to play some music, and he goes, "What are you, 100 years old? You're so outdated on music." And I said, "No, I hear that at Invesco Field all the time." He goes, "It hasn't been Invesco Field for like 15 years. And I went, "Shit." And then I realized I said shit, so I had to believe myself.
Oh, you said it really on the air?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
When I was gone? Well, recently?
No, it was last Christmas, yeah.
Okay, but the one time...
I had to bleep myself.
The one time I love on this show where the guy said,
"Oh, yeah.
Fuck." He said, "Fuck." And then he went like, then he says, "Shit, I just said fuck."
But we didn't catch I didn't catch it, man. It went out. It went everywhere.
But I love that.
They don't control it over there, huh?
No, not this day.
Well, they should.
I had Mr. Lee Larson call me the next morning.
Lose his job. If I do, I usually have my own and I catch, but if I don't, and if he doesn't, it's really
It's like,
they lose that
that's where
job.
you're sitting right over there. So when you talk, this is your banner. I just want to make sure everything's good.
How many seconds delay? It was like 7 seconds?
2:10. Well, back then there was
Somebody was going to send him drawings.
Now remember, I have a
Right, that's for the bid.
I mean, if you take my, you're not taking my car, but if you take my keys or anything, I just need to have them for Dundee.
No, I'll leave them. I should be back, but I'll leave them in the cup.
But we don't want to bid. We just want to see what he's seen.
We need to know how much work was done.
No, that's exactly what I said to him. But he said the drawings would help to show.
Okay. Then let's get the drawings from her. She's got
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
So she has those. The other thing, the other piece of the puzzle I forgot to mention, he has retained a lawyer.
Who?
Anders.
A lawyer for what?
Who is it? Who's the attorney?
I guess they're meeting on Wednesday.
Jackass and ripoff?
The detective's meeting with him and his lawyer on Wednesday, so we'll know more by Thursday.
But I thought all they wanted was how much work was done there.
I want to talk to, will the detective talk to us? We have information. We want to help him.
Yeah, he's collecting everything right now, and we're helping him by getting Mark Szymanski's, what needs to be done, and all that.
But we have to tell the Contractors Trust Act, it's very clear, even if she breached the contract, which she did, even if, that money still cannot be used.
And so he's collecting all of the information, and then he'll turn it over to the sergeant that's been assigned.
Gently school him on that, and tell him to call me personally on my cell phone if he has a question, because I know that law inside out.
I have not talked to the detective
And I got his information.
I only have the DA's. Do you have the
Yeah,
detective?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
You can give him my personal cell phone.
I'll write it on the outside of the folder.
We want to just nail this guy, man.
From now on,
We just want to
no
kill him.
applause, just mine.
This guy's horrible. That's an old, you know who first said that? No applause, just money.
Actually, really enjoyed you.
You know where that line came from?
People that have found the
No applause, just throw money.
So the training you're giving up in
did a project for Bill
I'll be
Franks.
back to
He
that.
said hello. Bill Franks.
Ready?
I remember him from years ago.
It's a rabbit, first said.
What business? He does
What's
consulting
money?
for basically helping people find jobs.
I've known him for
Yeah. He said that.
Oh, yeah?
No, he's still.
I gotta tell you.
George.
He's got a nice eye.
He's getting married to Susan. He wants out of
He's
it.
still living with
I keep confusing this with the switch, when Jerry wants to switch roommates. So he asks for a menage a trois, and they go for it. But he's not a porno guy.
You said the boy got it? I could have had it get
I'd have to get
Robes?
new carpet, different robes,
Oil.
Oil.
Yeah, how many members?
oil. That's right, oil. I'm not a three-way guy. George is like, it's once in a lifetime.
You must get down on your knees and thank the day you
Met me.
Who says that?
George said that.
George says that to Jerry.
When you got,
He wants to date. He wants to quit dating one roommate and date the other,
remember
and it's called the switch. And it's never been pulled off in history.
Successfully.
But George says, ask for a menage a trois.
Well, they sat down there and they were
then
working
what?
out, remember?
And then you could lose both.
No, but then the one would find it funny in the long term and come back around, and he would pull off the switch. But they went for it.
They both laughed.
Oh my God.
But Jerry's not a threesome guy.
I have to
Because
grow- get a mustache.
he'd have to grow a mustache, get oils, a robe, and shag carpet.
That's his definition.
Of a three-way. It is. It's funny, too. You think of it, it's always...
I love that show. God, I just absolutely...
It's always a guy with the
It
mustache.
is, it is so accurate.
It
See, true Seinfeld aficionados, and I'm not probably...
The best in the world. The best. Frank Duran, the real estate man.
But I know a lot, not that much, not as much as some of these guys.
Oh, my God. Frank would know what he asked.
What'd you ask?
When George was trying to get out of being
Oh, I never
married
heard
to
it, by the way,
Susan,
the answers.
Elaine gave him a suggestion and he tried, and so did Kramer. Neither one worked, but he tried them both. What were those suggestions?
Okay, so I have Terry
Let's do
Richardson
Elaine's
from
first.
That felt pretty well.
Told him to start
Frank's
smoking.
on for
That's
the
right.
Marcus coming
And he
over.
does
Said
start
my dad
smoking.
this time. I had to go by bed.
I can't quit now.
So wait,
You
what
can
was
hear
it?
the
Tell me.
messed up part, Tom.
One was to quit smoking or start
Did
smoking.
Elaine ask him
Here's
to get
my
a prenup?
concern. This kid
Oh,
is.
that's a
prenup.
Prenup, that's up
And
there.
She laughs her ass off. She goes,
That's what it
a
was.
prenup? I got more money than you.
Of course I'll sign it.
Of course I'll say.
That's what his court appearance is up for. And he's sitting in jail.
Oh, that is
Juvenile
the
jail.
best. A prenup. Good one, Bob. That was right. A prenup.
Yep, very good.
She laughs so hard. She goes into the other room still laughing. I got more money
Smoking,
than
remember
you.
George's?
I can't quit now.
And he gets sick.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the week. Oh, we love doing what we do. This hour brought to you by Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair. And we are here to help you solve problems, answer questions, and take complaints. And unlike any other show, we actually have commercials that are integral part of the show. It's all part of the same because we believe in them, we use them, we want you to use them, and it's important. And we also use them as our experts on the line from our referral list. So it's all one big happy family of consumer advocacy. That was my dream, to have advertisers that are part of the content and also to have a seamless transition with people helping people. So, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican or liberal or conservative or a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or anything. I don't care if you're even here illegally. If you need help, we will help you. Now, what I mean by that, here illegally, there are people that are here illegally that get ripped off all the time trying to go to work for people, and then people stiff them. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole immigration discussion right now. I just want to mention we'll help anyone at all. Anyone. 303-713-TALK. In fact, If you are like a Dave Anders who ripped people off, he took 15 grand from a woman. No, excuse me, I'm sorry, 68 grand. That the other guy took 68 grand and did very little work. And he'll be. We are pursuing criminal charges against him. We're also pursuing civil charges against him. And this man is going to be in trouble. He's on sleazbrigade.com. Along with a new guy we put out there, too. What was that other guy's name? He has a funny name.
Dusty Lopsinger or something?
Yeah, Lopsinger.
Lopsinger.
He's on there, too. We're going to pursue both criminal and civil against him. These people need to be put out of business.
We're going to have to hire a full-time employee for Sleaze Brigade at some point.
Oh, my God. It's getting terrible. So, anyway, budget. Oh, I mentioned Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a cool thing. Okay? For $89, they will find, fix, or free any repair plus parts. So here's how it works. They can fix about 85% of the things they figure for $89, no matter how long it takes, $89, and then you pay for the parts. But you may say, wait a minute, what if it's something I don't want to do because the parts are too expensive? You have no obligation. And not only that, but if it is going to be more than $89 in labor and it involves like a major rebuild or something, they will give you a detailed estimate. And if you don't take it, it's still absolutely free. So Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair, okay? Take them up on it. Or they have another thing. Depending on your car, they have a diagnostic fee for your transmission. What that means is if they can't diagnose it from driving it and hearing it, if they have to tear it apart, the price they charge you will include putting it all back together again with new seals for one price, so you never have to worry about being stranded. You see, some shops take your money, they open up the transmission. If you don't have the work done, they get pissed off and hand you your parts in a shoebox and say, take off. Well, you'll never get that at Budget A1 Transmission or Auto Repair on South Santa Fe, just south of Dartmouth, 303-781-9858. That's Budget. Okay, let's go to the phones. We have an attorney waiting to help someone on a case. We also have people who want to talk about, again, contractors that are not showing up and getting paid. Bob Logan's with us from Plumb Line Services. He's in the house. If you have any questions or concerns on plumbing, heating, air, sewers, drainage, they do it all. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And then we have Joe Phillips on the referral list. He's here as a common man today. He's with the AAA Emergency Tree Service. Terry Rector, also a member of the referral list, is weighing in on something for us. Terry is a defense attorney out of Colorado Springs, and we have a very unusual case, a sexting case that we want to talk about. We're not using, obviously, last names and stuff, but Betty's son, this is so odd to me. Betty's son got in big trouble for having a sex text. Now, Betty, let's just really sum this up for Terry Rector from the Rector Law Firm. Let's sum it up. Betty, your son is how old?
He's 16.
He's 16, and he is currently in juvenile detention, right?
Yes.
Now, why I say this is unusual because we never usually see something this dramatic done to a child who has this problem. He was texting his girlfriend. Is that right?
I mean, it was an ex-girlfriend, but a girl that.
Well, okay, so he was texting a girl who's a friend, all right, and they were texting photos of each other, right?
Yes.
Okay, and in this stream, he texted her a photo of himself, right?
Yes.
And he was naked?
Yes.
Okay, and did he have a picture of her?
Yes.
And he deleted it?
So they never found any evidence on his device. So,
but they did find evidence on hers.
Yes.
Did she complain?
So I don't know how the words got to authority. So I'm thinking it was by word of mouth. I'm assuming she was talking about it.
So he was arrested.
He was.
And what was the actual charge?
So he was in trouble before for sexting. So he got arrested actually when this happened because of revocation of probation, basically.
Okay. So let's go back to the first case. When did that happen?
In September of 2015.
So in September of 2015, what was he in trouble for?
He had sexted. He and an ex of his had sexted.
Okay, and what were the circumstances?
Meaning the circumstances.
Yeah, like what? Did he have photos? Was he showing it to friends? What was the charge?
So on that one, he just got charged with obscenity, a misdemeanor obscenity.
And what did they do? What charge did they give him?
So what he was required to do was 24 months of sex offender probation.
Okay, and what did that entail?
Oh, man. So that was just basically every single month reporting to a probation officer.
And who turned him in on that one?
I think just word of mouth, kids talking about it, and administration got a hold of it at school.
Okay. So that wasn't overreacting, really, 24 months? I don't know, but
no.
But it was a misdemeanor. But then what happened is this time, I can see now, this sheds a little more light on the situation, why they took it more seriously. But they immediately put him into custody.
Yes.
Okay, what I don't understand are why are they now recommending he be removed from your home?
So because that happened when we found out about the second case. That happened in January of 2017, and he didn't get his sentence for the second case until November of 2017.
And what was the sentence in November of 2017?
So that one, he ended up picking up a hold on. It was an F4 felony for sexual exploitation of a child.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That is serious.
The thing that frustrates me on that one...
Wait a minute, but he didn't have any photos of her on his phone?
Nope. She had photos of him on her phone and admitted to deleting her pictures but keeping his. But she didn't get in trouble.
Okay. He's going to have to report the rest of his life as a sex offender.
As far as we know, that is definitely a possibility. There's a small chance he could be able to request, after successful completion of sex offender therapy, he could possibly not have to, but at this point he was unsuccessfully discharged from the therapy he was going through.
Why was he discharged from the therapy?
So he was discharged because he was required to take polygraphs as part of his new sentencing, and part of the therapy he was doing more intense therapy the second time around. And if he didn't come up with a reason as to why he would, get a question wrong on the polygraph, or it wasn't the response that they wanted, then he would have to come up with something. And one of the last things that happened was they tricked him into saying that, he used his brother's cell phone to go on Snapchat to communicate with friends. No illegal activity was done, but it was still a violation of probation.
Because he wasn't supposed to use Snapchat.
Yeah, he's not supposed to use any electronic device.
Okay. All right, so listen, Betty. Your son may not be a hardened criminal, but he has a problem.
No.
I don't want... I hate hearing, excuses, and I don't think you're giving excuses. You recognize he may... now listen, here's the funny thing about it, Betty, is he's probably not different than a lot of other teenagers that simply haven't been caught.
Exactly, 100% correct,
but does it make it right? Of course not. I don't want my child doing crazy stuff like that. But it's amazing what people are doing now.
Yeah, so much so to where the DA had to change the laws at the beginning of this year to make it a petty offense now for people who actually commit sexting crimes.
All right, so what happens now? He was sentenced to what? What's his sentence now?
So he still has. So what we're going through right now, he's been in a juvenile detention facility since January 23rd.
And what's his sentence? I need to now start getting to answers quickly.
Well, his sentence is just. He still has the sentence.
What is it?
The felony, the exploitation of the child.
What's the sentence? Yes.
24 months probation, sex offender probation.
Again. Okay.
And then he has to register as a sex offender.
He's on new charges. He's sitting in juvenile detention.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
About
he's up on new charges.
Wait, the third time then? The third time you're saying? Because she mentioned...
Clarify with Mom. I'm sorry.
Well, she mentioned that.
This isn't the third time.
This is the second time. Right. This is the second
charges.
time.
It's just a revocation of probation.
But here's what I don't understand. You said he was sentenced on the felony when?
November 7th, 2017.
Of 2017. He was sentenced. Okay. So why is he in jail now?
Because revocation of probation.
When was he put in jail?
January 23rd
of when?
2018.
But I don't understand. He violated his probation, you said earlier. Why was he put in jail in January? So the first offense was in 2014.
15, yes.
15. The second offense was when?
2017.
2017. Why was he put in jail in 2018 for that?
That was from. Okay, so after
hold on, we're getting way too long, so you got to hold on. All right, I need something. He had one offense, he was given probation. Second offense, they violated probation, but that was back earlier this year in 17. I mean, so why is he sitting in jail in January 2018? I need answers more than stories and explanations. If we can do that, it would help us a lot. And we're going to come back and talk about this and a lot more. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ can help you if you want a beautiful smile, but you don't want to pay $50,000 or $60,000 for veneers. In fact, you can spend even $20,000 just for the front teeth. Aurora Orthodontics, as part of my pledge to you of bringing you quality and value, it's different. It doesn't just cover up bad teeth. It literally realigns your jaw, widens your palate naturally over a period of time and allows your teeth to straighten without extractions or surgery. And then you use Invisalign for the final touches. The entire process is just a few $1,000, not 50 or 60, and it only takes 2 years. Plus, it will correct TMJ and sleep apneas. 303-690-0100. Beautiful teeth and healthy jaw and mouth. 303-690-0100.
I don't understand the chronology here. I'm not getting it.
It's all an accident-free in the drive across the metro area freeway system right now. One little blip in the line on westbound I-70 in the elevated portion around York. Otherwise, the drive's looking good on I-70 through town. No delays on I-25 through the 100%.
Well, they always say
Trouble-free on the turnpike. No delays on I-76 traveling more out in the metro area.
Oh, he might have got a criminal.
In good shape out in Commerce City and trouble-free on 225 in Aurora. For more real-time traffic updates on your route, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. The weather forecast: sunny, nice today with a high near 49. Right now, just a few clouds hanging out, and it's 43. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 KHOW.
Where was the crash? 4 months ago.
That's what new coach, 3-time Grammy winner Kelly
So Bob, you should see this house.
Holy shit! You bought it at 155.
Blacked out digits begin. Held by the premier but critic.
Good hit.
Good girl.
Well, you do want to buy low and sell high, though, right?
Shut up. Not when you're shorting. Not when you're shorting.
Well, that applies to your home too. But maybe you don't know exactly how to
This
get
lady,
it.
seriously,
What the options might be.
you wouldn't believe the stress she had to go through. I mean, I'll bet your heat bills
How
are
about starting with a
5
call
times
to us?
higher than what they
For over
normally
30
is.
years,
She's got to walk through plastic
designing and
to get to her
completing
house and
first-rate kitchens
her
and baths that
Her roof has got, you know, the decking on, but there's gaps like that, and you're left with no, with one end totally open and nothing on the roof. In October.
So he paid her, she paid him
$68,000.
and he's hardly done anything?
He's probably done
Mostly demo work?
4,000. No, they did all the demo work themselves. Hired for the dumpster, everything they paid for.
Kitchens, baths,
They paid for all the materials. So they think anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000. What two guys said.
Or DRHI.
But you should see how he left it. And she was in
Car
Europe.
loan,
He just
high-interest
left.
credit card loans, that adds up for all of us. But there are ways around it. Hey guys, it's Ross Kaminsky for my friends at American Financing, and I'm here to remind you that refinancing your home loan is an easy way to save a lot of money. Think of it this way. A lower
This lady
interest
said the
rate means
offense
lower
happened in
monthly bill
January,
payments,
but
and mortgage
he didn't get
interest rates
charged
are
until
far more
November,
competitive
which is why
than
he's
cell
jailed.
phone or credit card rates. I'm talking rates in the low single
Challenge.
digits versus rates in the high double digits. Why wouldn't you
Well, he's
consolidate
habitual.
high interest debt by
Yeah, well, you think you would have learned the first
Why
time.
didn't they put him in jail then? I'm asking. I'm not.
Customize a loan to fit
Why?
your needs.
Why January this year?
Customers of
If he
$1,000
violated
a month,
in the middle of the
no
year.
upfront fees at American Financing. You could close on your new loan in as fast as 10 days
Maybe
and
he's been
maybe
sitting in
even
there since
postpone
November,
up to 60
around the
days
year.
of mortgage payments. Get in touch with American Financing
Or
at
she said he just went in and
303-695-7000 or online at
I think she said
AmericanFinancing.net.
he violated in early 2017.
You know, this kid needs.
He was sentenced Well, you know, but truly, he's not truly much different than a lot of kids. Seriously, I mean, you'd be shocked at how many kids, and I know kids that do it, or did it. And
well, this label thing, sexual predator is horrible. Like this guy that was just,
yeah, it's true.
It's just out in the parking lot.
Now, if I was threatening jail, maybe stop.
And he got popped. He's got the label for the rest of his life. Oh my God. He can't.
Yeah, you urinate on a golf course and you get.
Oh my God! I'm thinking of things that I've done, like changing my pants in a car or something. If some person ever saw me doing something like that, really, I mean, I've changed in a car before, you know. And just think if somebody saw something or report you and say, could you imagine that? Or what about when you're younger, like having a girl contact you and she's 17 and you don't know it?
Well, the awful part is anywhere he lives, he's got to report. So if somebody doesn't want to rent to him because he's got to report the fact that he's...
George might have got it for urinating in the shower.
They're all drains.
Pipes.
You're gonna mix them up. Let's go different directions.
No, pipes are pipes.
Afternoons 4 to 7. Stanford University announces
You watch that
male students banned from the university gym twice a week.
Let me ask this one, man.
So why didn't you hold it? Oh, no. I've read medical journals. They say you can't hold it.
I want you to look Mark, I want you to look up Robert Picardo.
B or P?
P. Picardo. Picardo. Robert Picardo.
Don't know what the day's holding.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere, and this show is brought to you by Rocky's Autos, one of our fine sponsors, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. They have 40 lenders to choose from. Everything is done and approved on the spot, where you don't go with approved credit, of course. That's the way they do it. They don't call you back with car dealer games. They also have different kind of lenders for different kinds of preferences. Low down payment, a big down payment, no down payment. So you get variety in color and model and price and accessories and options, and you also get, of course, the variety when it comes to the actual financing, which I like. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646. Okay, Terry Rector from the Rector Law Firm is listening patiently. Betty, we got to get right to it, okay? Here's the bottom line. Your son had an offense of sexting in 2015. He was sentenced to 24 months. He violated he violated his probation in early 2017. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, that was the second offense. It took until November of 2017 to get sentenced. What I don't understand is why he is in jail in January of 2018. Can you clear that up?
Because he used his brother's phone, which was a violation of probation.
Oh, during his polygraph, it was disclosed that he was using Snapchat.
Yes.
Got it. Now I understand. So now, where do we stand right now?
So now we're just waiting for a revocation hearing to see if they want him to serve jail time or if he has to go to a foster group home.
Okay. So he violated twice. Why are they looking to remove him from the home? Are they talking about literally taking your rights away as a parent? Termination of parental rights?
We would still be his guardians. We wouldn't have to sign anything over. They just feel like he needs to be, I guess, in that type of environment.
But it's different than just putting him in that environment. They're literally saying he's not. I mean, this is termination of your parental rights.
I guess I haven't heard that term used necessarily.
Okay, then maybe that's not what they're doing. I don't know. But anyway, Terry Rector, without recapping every single detail, can you just weigh in on this? Does it seem pretty heavy for what was done? If only a photograph was sent, or is this par right now for the course with the way things are going?
Well, Tom, it does seem rather heavy from the facts as presented, and I can see, you have violations of probation, and he gets detention as a result, and for juveniles, it's not usually beyond 90 days unless they ultimately send them to youth offender services. So it seems to be odd, and it seems to be there almost has to be a companion dependency and neglect case out there if you're talking about removal from the home. And there also has to be, and now I'm jumping around here, but he has to have an attorney. So an attorney's representing him in the juvenile action. And fortunate for
he has a public defender, Terry.
He has a public defender.
Yeah.
Fortunately for her son, he's in the juvenile court.
That's fortunate.
That's fortunate, and that if I'm correct, that he still remains in the juvenile court.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's fortunate. Why, Terry?
Well, because the penalties are all the same for juvenile actions.
Yes.
Delinquency actions, if you want to use the older term. So he's not subject to more severe penalties if he was punished as an adult. He's simply adjudicated.
Okay. What I want to know is, what do you need to know from us, Betty? What kind of question do you have? You have a really good attorney listening. What would your question be about this?
I guess just how we could go about fighting to make sure he actually gets to come home. His probation officer and everyone on our team has actually said that, parenting is not an issue, that we could provide him a safe place. He has a GAL as well, and she has actually recommended that he come home.
But it's DHS recommending that he be removed.
So it's the DA, and it's his probation officer, and DHS is saying that they've exhausted their resources, therefore they're actually looking to have him committed, not moved to a group home, foster home.
There are two cases out there.
Yes.
And there's a wall between the two of them. Usually the district attorney is not allowed to speak into the other side.
So they have a really tough road ahead of them, and they should be represented by an attorney too, right?
They should be, yes.
Oh, do you guys have an attorney?
Parents are going to be responded.
Just the public defender.
No, you guys.
DHS,
you guys need an attorney.
Oh, my husband and I?
Yes.
Oh, no.
You need an attorney.
They would be respondents in the dependency and neglect action, according to the information.
Do you have any dependents? Here's your homework. This is what we need to know next. You need to find out, Betty, if you and your husband, you ask straight up, are we facing a dependency and neglect charge? That's DNR, they call it.
Okay.
I think they call it that, right?
DNN.
DNN, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Dependency and neglect.
Right. Yeah. Ask if they, and that's what you do. You have to find that out first. Then we can seek to help get you some counsel. Terry Rector Law Firm, there's no reason to belabor this. We need to know if you're facing a dependency and neglect. Otherwise, your son's fate is in the hands of his defender. Okay? That's it. 719. This is Terry Rector, if you ever want to get a hold of them.
He's also a great personal injury guy,
yes,
man.
In the Springs, 719-578-1106. 719-578-1106. So you see how this is all working with our experts? It's really a wonderful thing we have going on here. Hey, I imagine if you have any tree questions, we can get Joe to answer some tree questions. And doesn't he look like that actor? Does he look like that actor?
Just like him.
I swear it. It's amazing to me. We don't know the name. The name of the actor. Yeah, tell him, Mark, the name of the actor. Do you still have it there?
Robert Picardo.
Robert Picardo. Oh, my gosh. You look, if you look, you could be his brother. Okay, let's keep going. 303-713-8255. Okay, so, what is a Mary, is it Mary Jane? Mary? Or Marj, what's her name? I don't know. Hello, do you hear me? I guess she doesn't. Suzanne, can you help me with this name? I don't know what the name is on line 2.
Marjan.
Oh, Marjan. Marjan? Okay, Marjan's not there. I'll go to Sandy. Hi, Sandy. What's happening? Hello, Sandy.
Oh, hi. Yes, I was just wondering what is the best way to pay down your mortgage a little earlier. like making extra payments a year?
It's really important you do it the right way. If people, the worst thing you can do, let's say you have a mortgage payment of $1,800. Okay? And that's with insurance and taxes and everything. It's $1,800.
Okay.
That's your coupon. Don't ever tear off 4 coupons and make 4 payments. Don't ever do that. You will get no credit, and you're paying ahead insurance and taxes and stuff you don't need to pay. It's just the worst thing you can do. In fact, you can end up with a surplus in your account, in your escrow account, that you don't get back because they just keep it. Now, I don't mean you don't get it back. It's used for your bills, but it's extra money you don't need in an account. The proper and only way to do it is to get an amortization schedule, okay? That is where you go online and fill out, or get a calculator, and you fill out when it started, the term, how many years, the rate, and exactly what the particulars are. And it will print out a schedule.
Okay.
Now, on your schedule, you're going to see a breakdown. Now, this is not taxes and insurance. You never pay taxes and insurance in advance, or you don't pay more. So what you do on that mortgage amortization schedule, you'll see a payment there, okay? That payment is part of, that's what your, if you did it right, that's what your payment's going to be without your taxes and insurance, okay?
Okay.
Now, you make your regular mortgage payment, and then you do something else, and I'll tell you that coming right back, because it's very important you do it the right way. Mark, what about Handyman Matters?
How about a half day of a handyman?
Yeah.
You got the honey-do list, and I know Suzanne gives me that crap all the time.
That's why I like the way they do it.
And if I don't want to do it, they can do it.
I like the way they do it, is with that handyman list, meaning that you can have one guy there and do everything you want for one flat price. Do you know?
Imagine a ceiling fan installed, a new light switch installed, maybe your fence needs mending. I mean, you pretty much name it, they can do anything.
Okay, so if you want someone to come over and you just have minor stuff, and they do fences and gates, they do so many things. They'll fix drywall, all of that. You call Handyman Matters. We have known them from the beginning, and you can get a half man. And I think it's around $300. I'm not sure.
Half day or full day you can call, but they're at 303-727-9600. A half day, either by the hour, a full day, but anything. Painting, they'll do deck staining, they'll do pretty much anything inside, outside your house.
And that's a 303?
Yep, 727-9600.
That's 303-727-9600. Do you know what I love about Art of Granite? You can get price quotes on the phone. All you have to do is have some measurements and a photo. Give them a call. 303-386-5919. Art of Granite.
You do just look like them.
I know it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's scary.
You want to see it? You want to see them?
I've been told this for years, but I've never actually
seen the guy.
I've never actually looked at the guy because I'm not a techie.
I got a better picture of it right here.
Yeah, I think.
1 week for installation, serving Denver Metro and the
I love Alfred.
You always make fun.
Alfred E. Newman.
And they tear out and haul away
Spy versus Spy. I used to get it.
386-5919. That's 303-386-5919. 303-386-5911.
What were the other ones that they had on there? Did they have some other that they always did on?
And I'm certified.
Frisco's tonight. Man, they got $45. Lobster bisque, filet, 8-ounce filet, with chateau potatoes, cheesecake, or strawberry pecan crust, whatever that is.
Del Tacos.
Tacos.
Why are they running? It's just a special.
It's a restaurant week.
52
Don't you guys go for
52?
Yeah.
It starts this week?
Yeah, it started last week. Started Friday.
Well, they got different tiers where you can do.
Just 45, some are just 35.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Friday we went to Perry's. I have passed that place a million times, never been in there. Delicious. Yep, except for that happy hour deal. I don't like that.
800-309-6933.
The beers are, so if you go up to the bar, they have a ton of beers. They have double IPAs. You pretty much name it. $4 during happy hour. If you're sitting at your table, they go up to $8, same beer. So of course I just get up and go to the bar and order them, but I find it absurd that they do that.
A lot of restaurants do that. It's ridiculous.
I've seen some try it, but then eventually they go back. But you're right.
Well, they're just trying to get two different businesses.
Well,
the bar business and then the.
Yeah, but who's not going to walk up there for double? I mean, what?
Plenty of people are. Or people probably don't know.
You can't. Well, when you walk into Perry's, the bar's right there, and it's just bustling, man. It looks busy. You see the signs for the drinks. I mean, it would be hard not to know. What would really piss me off is if I ordered them all from there, and then when the bill came, they were double.
Oh,
that would irritate the hell out of me, because when you walk in, you see their pricing right there. But the food was absolutely wonderful.
Where's that, Mark?
Perry's.
Oh, you said that. I don't have them. I've only been there once. I can't remember what I had. I think I had a steak.
Yeah, I had a steak. She had a
If I have to make a true judgment on steak, I don't eat a lot anymore, but I love it on it. I like the taste better at Del Frisco's than at Shannon.
Oh, I do too. They cook a better steak at Del's.
I think so, for some.
I quit grilling steak now, man. I cook it like Ramsey does in a hot pan with canola oil. It is so delicious.
Ramsey, Mark?
Yeah.
Is that a chef?
Chef Ramsey, yeah. Dave Ramsey.
What do you do? How do you do it?
So I take a big fillet or any kind of fillet.
Yeah, and then what?
A minute and a half high heat oil. Canola oil, and then flip it over a minute and a half, and you singe the sides about 4 minutes.
Is that rare?
Oh yeah, definitely rare. I mean, you cook it any which way. Oh, it is
so for a medium, you just do it longer.
Yeah. It is so good. That's how I did this, though. I've done it about 5 times. The only time I had splatter, because I switched from a vegetable oil to canola because it's a much hotter oil. And sure enough, it is a hotter oil.
So canola is a better oil to use?
For hot cooking. How about cooking?
You ever use canola?
No.
That's for hot too.
I would guess so. It seems like it would be pretty light. But canola leaves almost zero flavor. In other words, it doesn't make the meat taste like the oil at all.
Yeah, that's
coconut
the only problem with coconut.
That's a good flavor.
Olive oil's all right, but olive oil gives good flavor.
Except olive oil is not good for you when
I
it's
think it'll start
burned.
smoking at a lower temperature.
And it's not good for you.
You put the oil in the pan,
Not
high
burned.
heat. As soon as that oil starts smoking in the
But
pan,
not
just
burned.
barely
For some
smoke.
reason, it does more
It's
harm
ready to
burned
go.
than the other oil.
And then a minute and a half to 2 minutes each side. Butter and bacon.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Let's talk and see what's on your mind. Frank Duran, the real estate man, is on my mind. If you need someone to help you with real estate, you will find no one better than Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And he asked me to promote something for him, and I love the man. He is such a good guy. If you're buying or selling real estate, you won't find better. He hosts a seminar, and it is on this particular one. He calls it a ministry. It's a seminar. Now, they do these at their church, but it's about real-world topics. Like, he's hosting one on tax law changes, and he's going to have Eric Reinemer speak there. It's on Saturday, March 3rd. Saturday, March 3rd at Word Alive Ministries, okay? That's at 761 East 88th Avenue in Thornton. That's 761 East 88th Avenue in Thornton. And that's on March 3rd at 9 in the morning. It's about all of the new tax law changes for individuals or small and medium-sized businesses. Frank invites you there. Word Alive Ministries is what it's called, but they have all kinds of seminars. This is on tax changes, 761 88th Avenue in Thornton at 9 in the morning on March 3rd. So, Marjan, I'm sorry that I went to you and you weren't there. I'm going to go back to Sandy, but are you there now? Okay, I'm just going to go back to Sandy. Okay, so Sandy.
Yes.
When you print out your amortization schedule.
Yes.
And fill out all the stuff correctly, that is your mortgage payment. It may not look like the exact coupon amount or the amount you're getting because there are taxes and insurance and escrows in there. So what you need to do, though, is make your normal mortgage payment. That's all figured in there. Then if you're on payment number, let's just take payment number 30, okay? You make your payment for number 30. And then you go to the line that is 31. Okay?
Okay.
And you pay that principal amount.
Oh.
And only the principal amount. And then if you, this is just to make it easy on the mortgage company. You can do it in different ways, but the servicers love it this way, and you get immediate and you get really easily understood credit. Here's the other thing you do. If you want to pay on 32, you go to line 32 and pay that principal amount, and line 33. Now, this is what's amazing about it. The principal amounts are so low that you are literally skipping those payments when you pay that principal. So the more you do that, the more you're saving. But you have to keep track of what principal you're paying. And what you're going to see is eventually you're going to be out of principal. You're going to be paying the principals ahead by months and months and months. And if you skip, that's fine too. But remember, when you make your next mortgage payment, you're making the one after the principal payments. So if you keep track of it, it'll be fine.
How much is your interest rate right now?
Well, it's pretty high. It's 5 1/4.
Now, why aren't you refinancing?
Into a 15-year product.
Well,
or at all. Why don't you just refi?
Well, I did. I tried the other day, and she gave me a 4% rate, and she just extended my mortgage for by 5 months. But,
wait a minute. What are you talking?
My monthly payment was only going to go down by $25, and I thought, well,
no.
I want to do something more quicker.
The monthly payment isn't so much the big deal, because with the monthly payment going down, you're still lobbing off years of interest. I mean, you should be, or thousands of interest if you go down a full %. But there's something more important, Sandy.
Well, not if the loan goes back up to 30, and for example, she's at 20 years now.
No, but the whole idea, Sandy, is you're paying ahead, you said.
Yeah.
So, but you'll save interest. But Mark's right. If you had a 10-year loan, let's say, and people refi, you have a 30-year loan, you have 10 years or 15 years left, and you refi, go back to 30. Well, you're not saving. You're just extending again.
Right.
What you need to do, Sandy, is talk to someone who knows how to structure a loan for your benefit, not theirs. And you should have never gone back to 30. You should have refied, and the purpose should not be to make your payment go down unless you're hurting for money.
Yeah.
Are you hurting for money?
No.
Then you should not. That should not be your goal. Your goal should be to shorten your mortgage and pay less interest. Those two goals.
Yeah.
So the first goal would be to lower interest. The second is to shorten your term. Because the reason I say that is because when you lower your interest, you can always shorten your term on your own. So please look into refining again with somebody who knows what they're doing. Did you close on this new loan?
Well, no, I've been in this home since 94.
No, what I mean is that woman that gave you those numbers, you didn't go with, right?
No, I didn't.
Where'd you find her?
Well, she's my current mortgage.
Yeah, well, why would you stay with your current mortgage? They're not personal. You go to somebody who gives you the best deal.
Yeah.
You go to my referral list, referralist.com, and you go to the best person.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
You call and you shop. You say, this is what I have and this is what I want. I suggest, how long have you been paying on that mortgage, did you say?
Since 94.
You need to go to a 15-year loan.
Well, that's what's left now. 15 years.
I know, but you refi to a 15-year.
Well, that's what she was doing, refining for 15 years plus 5 months.
I understand that. That's good. But, make sure you go to someone that will give you that will look out for your interests. I don't know this person, so I'm telling you, I would go only with people on my referral list. It's that plain and simple. I'm not saying she's bad. In fact, shop with them, and if she compares and you like her, go with her.
How long's it been since you shopped at homeowners insurance? Probably since 94.
No, well, probably 10 years after that.
I'll bet you we can save you. How much are you paying on homeowners insurance?
Homeowners insurance?
Yeah, about a
Most
year.
people don't know because it's wrapped up in that mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the mortgage
Who's your
payment.
carrier?
AAA.
Who is that? Oh, you mean AAA? Oh, you're always paying more. AAA, you mean the Automobile Club of America? Yeah.
Yes.
Those guys, that and what's the other one that they're supposed to be for seniors and what's the
AARP?
Oh, these people just wipe you out. They look at. Don't go with AARP or what I call a middleman. That's what AAA is. That's what ARP is. They're middlemen. All they do is remarket products, and you never get the best deal. Right. So, Sandy, if you listen to me and not just seriously listen, you can probably save more than $2,000 to $3,000 a year by the time you're done. You shop your insurance first and get it changed. You go to Compass Insurance Group and you get it changed. 996-9000. Okay? That 303. You literally tell them what you have in coverage, get your policy out, and change it. Don't just say it, do it. You'll get better coverage for less money most of the time.
Yeah.
After you do that, and it sounds just the way you said, yeah, I know you're not going to do it. So for those listening that will do it and truly want to save money and are not just stuck in what I call paralysis, you can do it. You go and get your new policy and you'll save money. The other thing is possibly you can be done with your PMI. That's private mortgage insurance if you have it. I don't know if you have it.
No.
Okay, you don't have it. Great. So go and refi your loan to 15 years and do away with the insurance and get lower insurance.
And if you have plenty of cash flow, like you alluded to, you could also do a custom term loan with Ideal, maybe even do a 10 or a 12-year.
Yeah, have them work up different scenarios for you and do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
But, Sandy, please do it. Please, just try it.
And then report back.
So many people, I don't know why, Mark, so many people, they're so adverse to changing their homeowners.
And honestly, once you send it, here's what they're afraid of. What do I got to do? Call up my mortgage company, this, that?
No,
they do everything for you.
They do it for you. So please don't think it's going to be a big deal. One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Call now for a free inspection. You say, I want the Martino special, the Martino inspection, and you can get a free inspection and tune-up of your garage door and lubrication if you mention my name at One Clear Choice Garage Doors. But here's the important thing. They'll give you a written report on exactly what's wrong with your door if you have anything wrong. You don't have to have it done. It's One Clear Choice Doors. Of course, if you need anything, always you call them. They're the best. 303-565-6409. 565-6409.
I'm sorry?
Ford's moving a little today.
It was up. Air conditioning traffic.
Not more than that.
If you've got somewhere to go, now's a good time to do it as far as the highway traffic is concerned in the metro area for the most part.
Oh, yeah.
15 cents. Might have flip up flowing where
You want a good gambling spot or come out Wednesday?
The I-70 drive.
Tell me Foot Locker.
I don't like the company.
Who is it?
Direction as well.
Who?
Ultra Petroleum.
Why don't you and your fucking oil stocks?
Between highways 119 and 58, that's where that rock scaling works.
Hey, listen,
Watch out for that.
it's
Otherwise,
alcohol.
Terribly run
What's the
company.
forecast? Mostly sunny today, beautiful.
I'm on the down, man.
Right now,
I'm on the down.
43. Bankruptcy traffic.
Could be a good one, then.
Ultra Petroleum, a company I used to work with. But they went through bankruptcy. They got probably the best gas deal.
Do people stock? Do the stocks still trade when a company is in bankruptcy?
Depends. Sometimes it'll go to zero.
Yes, but it goes with a different symbol.
Yeah.
It trades under a different symbol.
For more syntax
This was good deal.
Can you be screwed totally when you have stocks?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Depending on the bankruptcy.
Absolutely positive. Well, when you say symbol, does that mean a different company?
No, it changes the symbol. It usually puts a Q at the end of it, something like
Or
that.
something.
But it goes under a different.
A lot of times we'll have, the preferred shares might have some value to them, but the common traded shares are worth zero.
No, that's not true. The common shares are not always worth zero.
No, I didn't say always. I said that can happen. That's a problem with some of these companies like Sprint, man. They'll have so many different levels of stocks out there, you don't know what the hell's going on.
They just sold $1 billion in junk bonds.
But the preferred are as good as bondholders as far as getting them. But because stock people are the first ones to lose it.
Yeah.
But then you can't vote with your preferred share. You care about voting? No. Who cares about voting?
I do sometimes.
Only if you got 5 million shares.
Yeah. Did you hear what what's his face said today? Berkshire. said the fucking market's going to go apeshit for the next couple of years.
Warren Buffett said that?
He says it's
What's
your
funny is
investing
Warren
in
Buffett, by
bonds.
just saying things, can change things. Just by saying.
Well,
things.
he just saved a ton of taxes.
Yeah, that's just a
Ton. I mean, we're talking billions.
How? That's not. He should voluntarily give his money. I mean, the way he talks, he's not paying enough taxes.
I know.
So why would he seek loopholes? He's a fucking hypocrite. He's a hypocrite.
Yeah, he is.
You can feel one way and do something different. Come on.
I'm against
That's what's called
pedophilia,
hypocrisy.
but I still do it.
No, that's not true. You don't have to be a hypocrite.
So is Oprah, so is George
But I mean,
Soros.
usually when you
George
truly believe
Soros.
one way and act
List goes
contrary
on
to that,
He's a
truly,
bad- he's a bad
that's the
man.
definition of a hypocrite. I mean,
I don't think he is anywhere near as bad as like Soros.
What's that?
I don't think he's anywhere near as
No,
bad as
you're
Soros.
absolutely. You're right. You're right. Soros is
Oh, and he just packaged himself so beautifully, having that
Yes.
once a year. Everybody and their dog wants to go to his
I know.
conference, you know, and
His annual meeting.
his annual meeting.
It says he's from
amazing, just
Omaha.
like a
Actually, I don't think he's lived in
It's
Omaha for
amazing.
years.
Oh, he lives in that little house, doesn't he?
No, I think
drives-
he's in
He
California.
drives an old truck.
I thought he lived in that
Not
little,
Soros.
literally, on that little house in Omaha.
He still has his little house in Omaha.
But he
Still
doesn't
has
live
it.
But he also has a house in California.
a
and
giant mansion.
Yeah, who knows what else he's got. Yeah.
And I think he does that just for the, oh yeah, Omaha good tones.
He drives that same old truck.
Yeah, right.
He just put a new rebuilt transmission in it, I heard.
From budget A1.
For budget. Good thinking, Dan. Let's work it into the spots.
Designed to help reduce substance abuse. No more excuses, no more denials. Get the help you need.
Fell on ice in front of a coffee shop in Athletic Club.
What can I get?
I know, that's going to be. What do they owe me?
Did you see Venezuela?
Maybe they're calling to see what they can do to help get rid of the ice, so it doesn't happen to the next person.
That's all.
You want to bet lunch?
Now,
I think you're right.
John Fuller, by the way.
I'm not doing this for the money.
Yeah, you could break it into Fuller.
No, we don't have a spot. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Plumbline Services in the house. If you have any questions, I did see an email here I'm trying to dig out. But in any case, 303-713-TALK. I saw more than one, and it said Plumbline. Here's one. Can you explain what a cracked heat exchanger means? We hear it frequently, but don't understand the danger. Okay, so that's hard for me to believe that somebody doesn't understand that. First of all, you explain it, but I want to explain what a heat exchanger is. It is, I just want you to picture a radiator, an old-fashioned iron radiator, or some kind of metal contraption that holds air, and the air goes in and out of it. I mean, the heat from the fire goes through that heat exchanger, and then air blows over it. So you're blowing air over a hot surface. That hot surface is the heat exchanger. Inside that heat exchanger is combustion air. It's the air that comes from your burners. So if you started a fire, and you start a fire, and you put if you had a campfire, and you put a big metal box over it, it would heat up that metal box. And then you blow air over that metal box, that air would be hot. That's why they call it heat exchanger. It takes the heat from the fire and heats up air. So, what is a cracked heat exchanger?
So it's typically exactly what it sounds like. It's a crack in your heat exchanger, and typically they're very hard to find.
You know why? Because they're not always visible when it's cold. Why is that?
Because the metal will expand and contract with the heat.
You'll
and
swear
so
there is no crack.
That's correct.
Just like with an engine and a crack in the block with an oil leak. You can't see it necessarily.
So the reason a cracked heat exchanger is dangerous is it has the potential, and I say potential, of emitting carbon monoxide into your home. And so it's a very serious matter. And unfortunately, most people, even in our industry, are not trained to properly identify cracked heat exchangers.
Why is that?
We go through extensive testing in order to identify.
But isn't it easy if you put a smoke into the heat exchanger, and that smoke shows up in your vents? Can't you assume it's getting through a crack?
That's a possibility. I mean, there's a few ways.
It's called a smoke test.
Right. The only way truly to do it is a visual diagnostic. That's the only way to truly
see
tell
the
you
crack.
if it's correct.
Okay.
And again, but even if we visually inspect it and assume there's a crack, we go to extra steps because sometimes it could be a scratch or a groove or something that appears to be a crack.
All right. 303-713-TALK. Tom, welcome to the show. What's going on, Tom?
How are you, Tom?
Good, man. What's happening?
Good, thank you. Hey, I've got a bit of a legal and a moral dilemma.
Sure.
Yesterday, I was walking out of the coffee shop that I frequent over by my gym in downtown Denver. And it isn't the first time I've seen this, and I've avoided it several times, but there's usually a huge patch of ice out front. They never put any salt on it. They never scrape it up, and it's pretty dangerous. And yesterday, I was stepping over what I thought was a big chunk of ice and stepped right on the one that looked like it wasn't frozen at all and took a huge header and jacked up my shoulder really good. I think I tore my rotator cuff according to what my doctor is telling me. And so my moral dilemma first is I don't want to go after and destroy like a coffee shop with some kind of lawsuit. And I'm not even sure if that's appropriate.
Well, first of all, they have insurance, and unlikely you would destroy anyone. And lawsuits are not unusual with premises liability, but I would rather not rush it. If you can hang on a few more minutes, I'll go over all of the basics just very quickly on premises liability. It would do us all good to review, especially if you own a business in a building. Well, you don't even have to own it. So stick around on the Troubleshooter Show.
I bought some GE.
Yeah, I bought it too, and it was at $25 a share.
Oh, I just bought it for $14.51. Or actually, 14.
Well,
They got rid of it, didn't they?
No.
$14.51 I bought it at.
But just the deterioration of the heat exchanger. Just
12 cents a share per quarter.
GE though, in 2096.
Yeah, there's a number of reasons why.
I mean,
What is March 2096?
No, I mean,
Rust might not be
starts to get pitted.
My kids will be here.
And then
2096
defects too. A lot of times they'll
How many
deteriorate
years
on
is
the
that from
eyelets
now?
where they're
80.
welding the heat exchanger together.
80-ish.
76.
76 plus 18, 86, 9. My kid would be 94, 92. Their kids will appreciate
You'll need it. Or people will live forever.
Actually, I could still be alive. What's the oldest man on Earth?
100.
Buck 20? 110?
Is it 12? Well, I think it's 12.
Who's the fattest oldest person alive? Is there anybody over 400 pounds that's in their 90s? That's what I want to know.
Good question.
And if so, what's
Great
the
question.
secret? I'm going to Google it. How many fat people
Fattest and oldest
live over 90? Obesity now. Obese 90-plus-year-olds. Listen to this shit. Look at this. I can't believe it. They're right. Actually, what they're saying is you never see them.
They're just laying in bed.
Have you seen those shows where they'll like bring a crane in to move somebody to the hospital or some shit?
It's just bonkers.
I watch them as much as I watch the Kardashians.
Like Oprah once in a while will save the fatty.
She'll save the fatty.
Yeah.
So how much did GE you get?
How much what?
GE. I mean, they're starting to sell stuff.
I bought it like 750 shares. I spent like 14 grand, or not even 11,500 bucks. To me, that's a pure gamble right now.
No, I know.
I rebought a shitload of Walmart today though. I dropped over 100 grand on Walmart about 2 hours ago.
How about do you do Bitcoin too?
Who?
Do you do Bitcoin?
No, but Ameritrade just started doing futures on it. I might, but I have not yet. I have not.
Man, if you want to gamble like that, I'll give you the stock.
You have. Your damn oil company. Which one was it? AVAV?
No, CPO.
No. Oh, you know what? I
SAND, SND.
Switzerland's getting into the...
No, the one you gave me.
Creating a kind of a place where you can do business for Bitcoin.
Oh.
They're kind of open.
RDSA.
Yeah, Shell.
RDSA.
Shell Oil, probably the third biggest oil company in the world.
It's a scam. They don't even have oil. They spell oil C-O-I-L, coil.
I went to BP and said, I don't know if they want that because it's crazy because they have so much debt, but they bought a whole bunch of properties. It was really bad.
I remember Tom 2 years ago was telling me oil would be back up by now.
It is.
Shit, barely. Actually, you're right. Back then it was
64 bucks.
It was back. It's back. It's not back where it was.
It'll never be $1.50 again.
Well, it was only there for a week.
Yeah.
I never said $1.50.
No, I know you didn't. What do you think the high will be? Think we'll ever see the hundreds again?
Let me tell you, there's. I agree with Tom. There's some countries that are really hurting.
Right now, though, they're pumping. They're operating at such capacity. I don't know how long it will.
That's not just good news.
Venezuela's got more oil than
we keep hearing
in the world.
We keep hearing that it's finite. I mean, God Almighty, we keep hearing, and then all of a sudden, giant pockets are found. I mean, giant. But so,
yeah, I know.
How much freaking oil can you have? Do you know that there is a philosophy or a theory? I mean, that it is actually not what they think. Some of it came from old dinosaurs and old organics, but that there is a. It's being produced today.
Yeah.
And there's a theory that
actually will,
like the core of the earth is making
something is making oil. That is bullshit. That is. You think it's false?
That it's kind of like renewable.
You think it's only fossil?
To reach my
Organics.
Look, the market's moving fast.
Right.
I want to look it up. Somebody, they had such a good.
So it's replenishing itself.
That's what. Yeah.
It's possible.
Not possible.
How's it not possible?
Well, it's all a process.
What's it going to come from?
You might be missing the opportunity.
Was it break down?
Chance at a limited time offer.
It's got to break down to
personalized financial plan. Call
all the people that die.
10 p.m.
People die every day, Dan.
No, absolutely. You probably could. If you put a bunch of people on top of each other.
How many dogs died yesterday?
Like I say, they all got to get.
How about all the fish in the sea? How about
trying to speculate what's going to go on with oil?
That's where it comes from. Only they're microorganisms.
So it is replenishing all the time.
Sure, but it's got to be a great,
They can say that about diamonds, sir. We couldn't make them. They had to be around forever. Now we literally make
anyone.
You could make oil too.
Yeah, or whatever. Yeah. What is it? What is the problem?
It's either certified by Mercedes-Benz factory-trained technicians.
Why couldn't you do pure synthetics, honestly?
No.
Okay, I'm going to handle it like any other problem. We don't have special kid gloves.
Natural gas is where synthetic oil comes from.
The Mercedes-Benz certified.
What happened to Mark John? We didn't get Mark John back on.
Who's Mark John?
She wanted to rip on my competitors.
Come in today and take advantage of 2 years of.
Oh, this is a bad. Have you ever heard of this thing that tree hat or top hat? Tipping hat. Top hat.
For them.
Tippy toe. You know what tippy toe was? You?
It was the warning sign when they're coming back in the room.
We were going to grab the cassette tape, and all you hear is George in the back. Tippy toe.
So what was the song going to be?
This is the Troubleshooter show.
Oh my God, it was so stupid. It's that really old
downtown. No.
It was downtown.
No, it wasn't. Lemon Tree.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Yes, I am your consumer advocate. And this hour, brought to you by the Raleigh House. That is a serious topic. I'm proud to represent the Raleigh House. I'm proud to do what I do with everyone here on the show that advertises and those who call. We want to help you any way we can. Sometimes it's a lack of communication. Sometimes it's downright wrong what people do to you. Sometimes it's wrong what you do to them. We will never hold back from what we feel is the truth, and we'll never hold back from helping you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And the Raleigh House has an information line that I urge you to call if you have an addict in your life and you need information. And here's the deal. When they first approached us about advertising, and I went to meet with the Raleigh House, I said, there's one thing we can do to help everyone. And it's not a sales job. It's nothing like that. It's simply an information line. They were totally in line with that. In fact, they had something similar in mind. So we established this phone line for one reason, to give information about addiction. Because that's what people need. they're never going to sign up for any kind of rehab or treatment without knowing what's going on, or they're not even going to approach an addict in your life, so in their lives. If you're an addict, you can call directly, but this is mainly for the friends, family, and loved ones of addicts. You can ask a question like, how do I know there's a problem? How long does it take for it to be a serious problem? What signs do I look for? How much does it cost? How long does it take? Where can I get treatment? Are there any free programs? What can you tell me about the Raleigh House compared to other programs? And the Raleigh House is a premium addiction recovery program located right here in Colorado. I love representing them, but the purpose of this line will not be to sell you or to high pressure you or to give you any obligation. It's totally confidential and free. Here's the number. So if you have any questions at all, call 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. And Suzanne, that woman, when I invited people to email directly me if they have any questions, that at live@troubleshooter.com, a woman says she's trying to keep her daughter from losing her daughter to addiction. She lost her son. I tried calling her, so if she's listening, I really do want to talk to you. I'm sorry it took me a little while to get back to you. But anyone with personal problems, they want to talk to me personally, in addition to the Raleigh House, you can live@troubleshooter.com, and I'd be happy to help you out and give you any information I have. 720-893-5559. All right, so let's talk about premises liability. Tom, he said he fell in front of a coffee shop that he frequents. Is that right, Tom?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because, I mean, literally 2 days before, we were in the coffee shop, my wife and I, and we had mentioned that the ice is out there and they probably should throw some salt on it. And the gal who, you know, I don't know them well over there, but she kind of laughed. She said, yeah, but I've been getting such a kick out of watching people fall all day. And then literally 2 days later, I took a huge, I mean, just a...
Did she laugh?
She didn't laugh after I fell, but it was a different person that was working that day. Came out to make sure I was okay. So somebody did witness it. There was a bunch of people in there when it happened. Of course, you know, I was embarrassed, and I picked up my stuff and I walked off. But later on, my shoulder is like seriously jacked up.
Right. The standard for premises liability is that first, there's a dangerous condition, and second, that the owner knew about it or should have known about it. Yeah. And then third, neglected, because if they tried to fix it, even if it was inadequate, then they're pretty much safe. So it's a pretty high standard to get anything, and I'm not saying you're trying to get anything, but for those listening, people think slips and falls are easy, and they're not. They're very difficult. So a normal slip and fall is normally not premises liability. They have to know about it, but you literally said something and they said that to you. That is pretty convicting. I mean, geez.
We're assuming it's their responsibility. If it was a strip mall.
Oh, and that's another thing. Oh, the Supreme Court actually and the Court of Appeals have actually said, what is a landowner? What is a property owner? And it can be anyone in control of that area or could have done it without violating any agreements. So, and I'm paraphrasing. In other words, even if they don't own it, if they have invitees going past it and walking over it, they have an obligation. Even if it's not their obligation in their lease. Even if their lease says, hey, we take care of it. Now, that gives, so let's say, Mark, the coffee shop owner in the lease, it says that they don't do it, that it's taken care of. Now, Tom can sue them. It doesn't matter. He's not a party to that. But the coffee shop can then get help from, can get reimbursement, so to speak,
from the landlord.
Or the landlord's going to take the brunt of it. But Tom,
they might be indemnified.
How many? It all comes down to damages. How many damages what do you have?
Right now, I know I've got a torn rotator cuff.
No, you know, that's freaking, that is serious, by the way.
Yeah.
That's serious, Tom. And you have good insurance or not?
I do, but it's $10,000 deductible.
You know,
I make my living as a trainer.
Then you need to sue.
It's going to be difficult.
You need to sue, at least start in small claims court for $7,500 to go toward your deductible. And you have all of the elements. A dangerous condition, they knew about it and did nothing about it. You have all the conditions. It doesn't have to be adversarial, meaning other than legally adversarial. It doesn't have to be verbally or personal. It can be, I am suing this coffee shop, period. And you also, you name everyone.
Are you in Denver?
The property owner, the manager, everyone.
Yes, I'm in Denver, and it's definitely, it's not I wouldn't call it a strip mall, but it's a, it's an area there off of Santa Fe and Calumet, and it's a little developing industrial strip. It's got a brewery in there. It's got a.
You're gonna listen. You
have
a case.
I'd call it Fuller. See what he thinks.
John Fuller. Yeah, you could ask him, but here's the deal. You probably won't get an attorney to take it unless you have, with personal injury, at least $100,000.
Well, he's saying he's a trainer of some sort. I mean, that could stop his income.
Oh, I never thought about that angle. You're right. Other than actual damages, your future income could be at risk. That would be something to consider. That's definitely something to consider. So, John Fuller's on our referral list. It's Fuller Law. I mean, personalinjuryco.com. You'll find him. But here's the deal. I think you have the elements, and you may want to go to him first before small claims court, but you need to consider everything involved. Did anyone hear her say anything when you reported it? Will she deny you told her about it? Is it so obvious? Is it so obvious that it was there?
Oh, it's very obvious. It's extremely obvious. And I'm betting other people, because she said she was getting a kick out of seeing people fall all day.
Yeah.
I'm betting other people.
And obviously she was kidding. So it's 303-597-4500. 597-4500. Are you from New Jersey?
I'm from New York, actually.
Okay, actually, I thought New York or New Jersey, but it leaned more toward New Jersey for some reason. I don't. So anyway, good talking to you, man. And that's John Fuller, 303-597-4500. All right, Andrea, what's going on with you, Andrea?
Hi. My sister and I recently, we wanted to get a loan together to buy a house.
Yeah.
And we went through American Financing.
Yes, that's a good company.
Yeah, so previously she was working with them, and they qualified her for a FHA, a conventional loan.
Okay.
A conventional loan with the assistance.
Yeah.
So, they qualified her at a lower credit score than what she had.
What do you mean at a lower credit score? I don't understand.
So now she has a higher credit score now that we are working together.
Oh, I see. She has a better score than she had. Okay.
Correct. And mine is way higher than hers.
So what are your credit scores?
So mine is a 660, and hers is now a 640.
Yeah, they're both bad, but they're
not
decent.
the best.
Right. But anyway, what about it?
What
is your combined income?
The combined income is probably around 85.
Okay. So what's the issue? What's the issue?
So the issue is when we called her, we said we want to qualify for this loan.
Yeah.
We want to see what we qualify for a FHA and a conventional.
Okay.
So she calls me back on Friday, and she's like, good news. You qualify for a FHA. You qualify for the max FHA. I'm like, that's great, but we want to qualify for a conventional, because a lot of properties they're going to take the conventional over the FHA.
But what is the problem?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the problem is she's not telling us what we qualify for a conventional loan. And she was all apt for it until she found out we were African American women.
Oh, I doubt.
Well, they make a lot more, too, by the way, and I don't care what lender it is. You make more off of FHA, so I don't know if it has anything to do with your race.
No, it has nothing to do with your race. Here's why. They have so many blacks and Hispanics they lend to all the time, every single day, that the argument just doesn't hold any water. I mean, even if you tried to do a discrimination thing, that would blow you out of the water when they could show you thousands of minorities that they refinance. So how could it possibly be because you're women and black? How could it be?
Okay, and understandable, that's fine, but why can't we know what she's like, you can't do it because your sister's...
Call somewhere else.
Because your sister's what?
My sister's credit score is bad, but she qualified for a conventional loan before.
Well, you actually didn't qualify. I mean, you weren't approved. They were simply going by what you tell them. They may have pulled an actual credit. They may have done something else. So here's the easiest way to find out is what Mark said. Go to another lender and run the same exact scenario by and see what happens. Because really, look at American Financing would love nothing more than to finance people. I swear to you, they will look for ways how to get you approved, not to not approve you. They have every reason to want to approve you. So I don't see I just don't see why they would turn you down unless they had a reason.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out the reason too, because they said the credits. They said the credit. They told you. But she qualified for a conventional loan. She sent her an email and said by herself. Okay. Now that we're together, it's like, no, you guys don't qualify for that. Okay. You guys, and I didn't send an email and saying that.
Here's why. Okay?
There's no dog in the fight, though.
Let me explain something to you, okay? When you combine everything. Okay? You combine everything. So you combine incomes and you combine debt. So I don't know what your debt-to-income ratio is. It could have hurt her debt-to-income ratio. The only way to really know is for her to go alone to another company and do the same exact thing and then go together and see what happens in that scenario. Otherwise, see, there's no indicator to me. When you told me scores, 640 is right on the brink. I mean, it's a really low score. So anything that you had that was negative could, or any debt could be negatively impacting her on her end. Look,
the more common sense is what you said before. There's no reason in the world these people wouldn't want to loan them money.
Right.
They make money off of lending money.
I mean, Andrea, truly, no one cares about race when it comes to lending money. They're not lending their own money. They don't have, you know what I mean? It's not like, all
they see is
there's
green.
Some black women, I'm not going to finance them. They wouldn't say that. That person is paid to make loans. They're salary based again, but still they're paid to make loans. They have no interest. I just want to try to allay your fear more than anything. I'm not saying you want to go with American Financing, but I'm telling you that I can say with almost certainty they're not going to turn you down because of your race. They want everyone. It's just like used car dealers want everyone. They don't look at people saying, I'm not selling a car to a black. They want to sell to them. They want to sell to everyone. So if I were you right now, really do it. And then if there is a big difference, okay, then call me back. I really will take a look at it. I will. And now, if you want, Andrea, to give permission to American Financing to talk about your specific case and to really talk about the details. We don't have your last name, so that would help. I'll do it on the air if you want us to call. Right, Mark? We could call. I mean, Suzanne, we could call if you want to do it. But I think first you should just, figure it out on your own. Now, we got a lot more to talk about. And we have a very special interview coming up. I don't know if you heard last week, but I interviewed American Express's new alternative finance program that they have. And alt finance is a huge industry. And it's about loaning money to businesses to expand or to grow or to help with cash flow. And it's different, way different than a conventional bank. And another big player in this arena is called Cabbage. We're going to talk about Cabbage coming up. It's alternate financing. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255.
This report is brought to you by...
Popping up as the lunch hour drive gets underway. Got a stalled vehicle northbound I-25 at the Hamden. Just watch out for some curiosities lying. On the north end, just a little bit of slowing. Southbound I-25 just south of 84th. The rest of the drive looking good up north. Downtown, northbound I-25 starting to slow down just north of Colfax, so watch out for delays there. Things are looking good across town. The rest of the drive. And of course, 6th Avenue is shut down.
Oh, that's easy. Was that an implant?
No, one guy did a dental surgery for $2,000. The next guy did a root canal. The next guy pulled a tooth. The next guy did
that's right.
It was awful. I mean, I wish I'd have just.
Yes, it can happen, boy. Wow.
Crazy.
How's your bionic eye working?
Wonderful. You know, I have these mainly for low light. For some reason, but it's low light and tiny print, that combination. If it's tiny print, I can see fine. If I lit it up, I can see fine. But this helps with the light.
Did you get the other eye done?
Yeah, both. They're perfect. My eyes are perfect. And my flight exam was 2015. I think that's better than 2020. It was whatever's better. Yeah.
Are you still flying?
Yeah.
What do you fly now?
I have 2 little airplanes and 1 helicopter. I like both. I don't like serious fixed wing flying. I like little planes, little sport planes. But my helicopter's my favorite. It's unfortunately, the little planes, technology has brought that much. The helicopter, that's all the maintenance. I don't know, even though it pisses me off and I say, well, you know, this time of work,
you got a bad
it's just always, there's always something. I just don't know why. It's always salty.
Did you buy a new
I bought a used one, but helicopter. Really just never going to buy a helicopter. Just over 600. Ever. Kid cap. Well, it's like to a certain extent. Not really. But. And then I'm sure it's just the love that I have. If you think about it, I did this with a friend one time. Said, I can't believe you did how much I compared all their hobbies: skiing, scuba diving. I mean, shit. I don't care what you say. That's the only thing I do is aviation. It's just all I do.
And when you do a trip, where do you take?
Is this me?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Alternate financing. It is a term you're going to hear a lot about. Alt-fi. Alternate financing. So why don't they just go to banks? Well, for one reason or another, banks have different underwriting guidelines than these alt-finance companies. And small businesses sometimes need something quickly, or they need something that is not so conventional. And they really take a look at the owners, they take a look at the business, but not like a bank. I mean, some banks want not only tax returns, they want business plans and projections. And there's the joke I always quote: the only way you get a bank loan is to prove you don't need one. So, we have a customer of Cabbage. Now, I'm going to systematically examine all of the alt finance world. And this time, I'm going to talk about Cabbage through the eyes of a customer. How better to do it? Christina Garza, right here in Denver area, she has Accounting Pros, small business superheroes, they call themselves. And you do all of the accounting services for businesses, bookkeeping and everything? Yeah, do you do payroll and all of that?
Yep, so we do bookkeeping and payroll. We don't do any tax work, but we tend to refer to CPAs who really enjoy that type of work and allow us to do our best work.
Sure. I want to ask straight up, why did you need cash?
Why did we need cash? Well, you know, it's really challenging in a professional services organization to grow. You're usually really reactive about the way that you hire, meaning you go out, you get clients, and then and you have that income coming in, and then you've got to go and train people to make sure that they can actually do the work. Right, before before that cash starts flowing in. Exactly. So the reason that we initially got funded with Cabbage is because we wanted to be more proactive in our hiring. So we wanted to make sure that we had the cash available to be able to hire new employees, get them trained up, and then go get the clients, so that the clients that we worked with never experienced any sort of hiccup whenever we were bringing on a new employee. Hey, by the way, I love your website. Absolutely love it. And that's a caricature of you, I realize now. It is. Yeah. It's a cool website, and it's like a fun atmosphere, and it seems to me like in a field that's usually pretty stuffy, you're trying to bring a little fun to it, by the way. I certainly am. Okay, now, when it comes to financing then, you needed money. Why didn't you go to a bank? Well, it's really hard to get a bank loan, especially if you're a professional services company. You know, we don't really have large equipment that we're going to loan against.
Right.
So really, and especially if you've only been in business for a few years, it's really challenging to go to a bank because you'll get declined. Cabbage was able to be more lenient on their qualification requirements, and getting a loan was really, really fast. So for me, it was a no-brainer. And, you know, they also had really great pricing, and that's also something I'm super interested in, making sure I'm not getting gouged.
But what I want to know is when you decided you needed to borrow money, from the time you picked up the phone or went online, how long does it actually take truly to get approved?
So we were a different case. Our bank account didn't sync into Cabbage's software, so we actually had to work with a person. And even having to work with a person rather than using their software, it only took us a few days to get approved. We submitted our bank statements. They were able to validate that we actually were qualified for the loan, and then boom, the money was in our account. So I think that anybody else who has who can go ahead and connect their bank accounts to Cabbage, they should get a reply back instantly. And this was years ago, so I'm sure they support the bank, which was a smaller one now that they probably have more connections.
So this was a while ago you got this. Now, do you keep using the financing like a line, or is it a one-time thing?
Yeah, so we actually keep the line open. So we have a certain dollar amount that we're qualified to loan against, and if we need to go ahead and pull some from the loan, we certainly can. So it's nice to have a bit of a safety net, and knowing that, you know, we've got, you know, such amount of money just waiting for us, and we don't have to go and requalify every time. As long as things are, you know, pretty much the same, the terms are exactly the same. So for me, it's really easy for us just to draw if we need to.
Now, Mark, my co-host here, we always talk about cash flow with businesses that call. Isn't that Mark, I'll bet you a lot of contractors who are otherwise honest, they fall apart when they can't manipulate money the right way, or they're waiting on invoices to be paid, but they have to go out and buy stuff for a new job, and they start getting in trouble.
Well, a lot of them look at their profit and all they see is this profit number, but the problem is their cash flow sucks.
Right.
So even though they're making a ton of money, they don't have the cash.
And then we have Bob Logan, a business owner in here, a pretty big-sized business owner. Now, Bob, you guys probably, now I don't imagine, because you have a big customer base, you have the cash flow problems ever?
Well, actually, even at our size, with 150 employees, we still have to very closely watch our cash flow.
But isn't it nice,
because of the seasonality of the business.
Yeah. And they have, here at Accounting Pros and other customers, they have a line, so they know they can keep it more level. So how do you use the funds then, now that you have a line established?
So, you know, we use it typically for the same reasons, and that's going out and making sure that we can hire, because we're growing, and I want to be sure that no client ever really feels the hiccups of hiring a new person. It takes a bit to train them. So we just keep it there in order to have a safety cushion for hiring. And we've also used it for going out and paying for marketing. So let's say that we need to do an ad spend, or we need to go out and hire a designer. Having those funds available is really helpful for that as well. And again, a traditional bank isn't going to lend for those types of scenarios. They want to make sure that they can loan against a fixed asset. We're not going to do that, so Cabbage is a perfect fit for us.
Yeah, so is it basically unsecured, other than your good name?
Yeah, I mean, they're looking at different things, so they want to make sure that you've got the revenue coming in.
Right.
And we do, and that we've been in business for at least a year, which we have. But no, they're not. They're really just securing it against the business income and our good name. But we're not going to go. We don't need to go out and buy big pieces of equipment to loan against. So really, Cabbage is taking a larger risk. So their fees are going to be a little bit higher than a bank, but it's not crazy at all.
It's not crazy. And what about that? Like with a bank, you could have never gotten the same kind of loan, and let alone keep it open.
No way. It's impossible to do that. Yeah, and you really would have to go back and requalify again and again as well, which, if you're really busy, I mean, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and you're always wondering, am I going to be approved this time? With Cabbage, I know I'm already approved. I've got that money waiting for me. If I need to do it, it's there. So it just kind of takes away that worry from my mind. It's just always there for me.
Now, when you talk about fees, are there upfront fees at the first time, or do you pay recurring fees? I'm not talking about interest. I'm talking about fees.
Yeah, so there's some small upfront fees that you would need to pay to get qualified. Usually they're just a few $100s. I would think it probably depends on the size of the loan that you're taking as well.
Sure.
And you've got some loan maintenance fees, which are pretty low, and then they've got interest fees. But this is all, again, dependent on the type of loan that you take and the term that you take. You could take short or long term, so just maybe a few months up to a year. And then you can also talk to the rep. I've had my loan fee adjusted if I've needed it to be. You know, I've asked for it to be reduced, and they've allowed for that. So there's still a bit of a human element in there, which I really enjoy. And everything is really documented in their terms agreement. So before you even accept the loan, they'll give you your truth in lending document so you can see everything that you would pay if you were to pay it to term. And you don't have any prepayment penalties as well. So if let's say that I'm getting a loan, and I know my customer is going to pay me at the end of the month, but I just need a little bit of cash to get me through the end of the month, and then I can pay that loan off. You can pay it off, and there's no penalty for doing that, which I think is different than a lot of other lenders as well.
So if you had to say, like, the number one thing they look at for lending money, is it your accounts receivable, even though they don't attach or they're not factoring companies? What do they look at the most, do you think, in your business?
So they're looking at your business revenue. So they've got some minimum qualifications. I actually just pulled up their website.
Yeah.
It says that they've got a minimum revenue of $50,000 a year or $4,200 a month over the last 3 months.
That's
and you've
pretty
got to
easy.
be in business at least a year. That's pretty easy to qualify if you're a small business owner, especially if you've been in business for a year.
No, they have to look at, Christina, your personal credit, no? As far as your credit report?
You know, I'm sure that they do, but they didn't really spend a ton of time talking about my credit report. So I think that it's probably a balance between credit scoring and also the business performance. But I think that their decisions are weighted more heavily on business performance.
Sure.
Because we've had clients who have made some mistakes in the past and may have not been able to get qualified due to credit score, get qualified with Cabbage, and for them it was a sigh of relief because if they'd gone to a bank, it would have been a definite no.
That's pretty cool. Christina, thank you very much. AccountingPros.com, and it's pros, P-R-O-S-E, which is kind of cool. AccountingPros.com, and it's a pleasure. And again, we're helping other businesses. That's what we do here. And I really don't have any connection to Cabbage or to American Express Alt Financing or to any of these. It's simply a way to make your small business big. We got more coming right up.
From the Fox Business Network on Wall Street, the Dow climbing higher in afternoon.
Is intriguing. What was her name? Christine Garza. Accounting Pros. I got over. They're good people. Accounting Pros, P-R-O-S-E. Oh, okay. And that's like prose, which is fun as a play on words. Prose meaning, writing about literature and it's a little it's going to be hard to find her probably because everyone's going to put in prose, P-R-O-S. Which brings up another Colorado-based. Oh, it does. That's not good. I see what the prose. So you have to specifically remember that.
While supplies last. Although the pancakes are free, IHOP hopes customers will make every stack count by donating to its charitable partners. With the Fox Business Report.
Oh, nice hair. By the way, by the way, did Kramer, was his reputation destroyed after that one incident? Well, it's gone now, but yeah, it killed him.
No, after you're talking after his
racial tirade on his racial slurs. Was it racial? Oh God, yeah, the N-word.
Many times saying 100 years ago we used to screw you guys up.
So then how do you recover from that? You know,
he didn't. He didn't. He hasn't.
A lot of jizz.
Did you guys see that Seinfeld drinking coffee?
Oh, no, not drinking coffee, it's riding the car.
Comedians riding the car drinking coffee.
I heard it was a bomb.
I think it's good. It's interesting to me, but he did one with Michael Richards.
Who?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And they talk about it.
Michael Richards, Kramer? Has he been on any talk shows after that? Or?
I don't think he's done a whole lot. I think he's done a little stand-up.
God, that can hurt. Man, if that's your heart, you don't really deserve it. I mean, really, if that is who you are.
If it wasn't for cell phones, it would have just been.
Yeah, you sound like you do with Bitcoin. Now cell phones are evil.
Well, it is in his case and stuff.
Evil or truth?
You just
sure.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's right.
Incriminating.
Yeah.
Is Cabbage on your
You know what I think looks so weird is that David Letterman.
Oh, with his
exploring the entire industry.
Yeah, that's,
I didn't like him before, but it looks like, I don't know what the hell it
very
looks
reasonable.
like. If he wants to be a Muslim?
Well, you understand their unsecured instinct.
Right.
How much are the fees?
Well, I mean,
oh man, look at
like for a 6-month loan,
It's
He looks like
they say your
It looks like Letterman.
3%, but that's 3% per month.
they leave comedy and grow facial hair.
Exactly.
Whoa.
So it's not
That's three times.
It's not an APR. I mean,
36%.
if you paid $100,000
I tell
off
you,
in 3 months, you
he
pay
was probably the best. Everybody, every actor was so
Okay, how much? 7,000
for 3 months.
Oh, for 3 months. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Do you know,
But
I
you know how
named
many
my son
people
middle name.
you're up that would pay more than that?
Oh yeah.
Be happy to.
From the dark end of the street.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. You know, we talked about, getting loans, unsecured loans from Cabbage and from American Express's division. And I hope you never need Wink and Wink. Those are bankruptcy attorneys. I mean, it's way better to try to stay afloat. But, of course, bankruptcy is sometimes an option for people. You know, I personally hate when people use bankruptcy for just irresponsibility. You know, they run up bills, but that's, I'm not here to judge you, but normally, of course, bankruptcy is not because of that. Bankruptcy is because of medical bills or a death in the family or a divorce or something catastrophic. Winkandwink.com are there to help you. 303, let's get their number here, 303, I believe it's 920-410-1720. Yeah, 303-410-1720, winkandwink.com, while we're talking about financing. Ernie's got a very interesting topic here. Ernie.
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
I hear you talk a couple of times about orthodontist and
TMJ. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just wondering if you had any personal experience with it, CPAP thing.
Okay. First of all, Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ, when I say when you get your teeth straightened with them and widen your palate and take care of your teeth, that it cures your apneas and your TMJ, I would not recommend, if all you want is to cure your sleep apnea, to go through that route. It's just too long and too much for just that. Okay, I mean for just that. Well, actually, it's not too much. It's probably around the same price as just these sleep dentists. But these sleep dentists, if really you're not looking for that long, involved process, which is not bad, it's 2 years. But if you just have sleep apnea and you want immediate results, then you can get these sleep appliances. They can be made within a month or so. Mark, don't we have a sleep dentist?
Yeah, we sure do,
we
man.
We can refer him to. Who is it?
I got to pull it up. Hold on.
All right, TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado. That's what it is. Do we have that phone number available?
Sure, 303
okay.
691 0267.
No, we'll give it to you. Don't worry. You don't have to copy it
and
down.
He'll do the sleep study at home. It's easy cheesy, man.
Yeah. Now, what they do for you, Ernie, were you ever diagnosed with sleep apnea?
Yes, I'm on the machine right now.
Oh, they're terrible, aren't they? God.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, I never used mine, so I'm so happy with my mouthpiece. What you do is this dentist will have to do a study. They still need one. Unless you have a very recent one, they can use it. If it's done by a doctor, you can do it. But if not, they just do this overnight. It's a one-night test, and it's all automatic. It's a tiny little cannula for your nose and a thing on your finger. I had no problem at all with mine. It didn't interfere with sleep or anything. These sleep labs are ridiculous. Did you ever go to a sleep lab, Ernie?
Yes, I'll go to the National Jewish Hospital.
Yeah.
3 different sleep labs.
What was the last one? What was the latest test you had?
Probably 3 years ago.
Yeah, they may or may not be able to use it. But then, Ernie, then they make this mold for you. Now, there are some extreme cases they cannot help with, but most of the time they can. And this doctor is very good. This dentist is really good, Dr. Kevin Barry. So they make this this mouthpiece, and then they adjust it. So what it's actually doing is it pulls your lower jaw a tiny bit out, which is not how most of us sleep, but that forces your airway open. Now, you don't feel it. It's just really microscopic adjustments. And it's amazing. It's just amazing what it does for your sleep. And another benefit, a side benefit, is that you don't grind your teeth, because it keeps you from grinding your teeth. And you may not realize you're grinding your teeth, but oh my God, the damage it does to your teeth over years, you don't notice it when you're doing it. but then it has accumulated damages. So here's that number, and Suzanne will make sure you get it. But for anyone listening, he's on my referral list, referralist.com. It's called TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado. 303-691-0267. 303-691-0267. God, I just love having all of this help available for people. It's just wonderful. You know, and those who were asking about HVAC and plumbing, they had a question about plumbing. If they have water, hot water heat, do you handle that?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Hot water heat, water, boilers.
Oh, like a boiler?
Yeah, do you guys handle that?
We do, yes, both service and replacement.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what is the #1 failure point for a boiler? Do you think it's the quality of water?
Without a doubt, quality of water is for most.
People don't understand how much damage it can do.
Yes, and we do have water filtration systems, but high water pressure and quality of water are the two biggest problems when it comes to plumbing.
Really?
Yes.
Is that what keeps that valve in your toilet from eventually not sealing? It is, isn't it? That little flapper valve. What a pain in the ass.
That's one of the #1 calls that we get. And think about high water pressure a lot like blood pressure. You know, your body can sustain it for a little while, but eventually things are going to start breaking, and your plumbing system is no different.
George, what's going on with you, George?
Hi there. You know, Tom, we live in just an extraordinary age of advancing technology, particularly in the mobile device field.
It's hard to keep up with it.
It is, and now with 5G coming our way, while it's slow in terms of its implementation, it's just going to open it up even more. So, you know, I just came across today something called Shuffle from Shuffle Ventures, their place out in Canada, and Suzanne mentioned Google Voice is a similar one. I just researched it. Mighty Call.
Oh, I love Google Voice.
Well, here's something now. You know, I don't use any of them right now, but so I have no personal relationship to any of them. I have no personal experience with them. But I'm seeing like Mighty Call is different from Google Voice. Apparently, with Google Voice, you only get one number, although you could change the number.
Well, with Google Voice, you only get one. I didn't know that. Okay.
And then you can't start. Now this is what Mighty Call is saying on their website. I don't know it to be true personally. You can't start calls from your cell phone with Google Voice. You have to start it from a laptop or tablet, and then.
No, that's not true. Not true at all.
Well, it says that you have to use
There's an app. You don't have to be on your computer. You can do it from your cell phone with an app, and it's seamless. By the way, you can have...
I think Suzanne does it all the time.
You can have more numbers. You just have to associate them with different email addresses.
Or you can pay for more numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all a little bit different. The Shuffle, apparently, you could have alias emails, alias text, and alias phone, and it all combines, whenever they come through to your cell phone, it all combines it into one area on your phone.
How much does it cost?
It's cheap. Like for a month, it's like $1.99 per number. You could even have it for 3 days or 2 weeks, and you can renew it. And then there are various costs associated with how many calls you receive or make and things of that nature, but it's all transparent. It's pennies, so it depends on what you need. But these are incredible alternatives that I never really thought about. It's amazing. I don't know what my 15-year-old son now will be seeing by the time, decades from now. I can't
even imagine. Look how many things are basically useless now. I mean, even DVDs and CDs now no one uses.
I can't wait for robots, man.
Do you think we'll have really common use of robots?
I do.
Like in our home?
You can get rid of Mark.
Thank you, George. No, it's
40, 50 years. I think we'll have robots.
It's mind-boggling.
I think it's going to be sooner than that, Mark.
No, I mean really good ones.
I mean like iRobot.
Like cook, clean. Yeah, you mean
I think within 20 years.
I'm not talking about sex robots.
No, and you're not talking about androids, right?
No, I'm talking robots, not androids. No.
Well, yeah.
Would you want a half human, half robot?
I think you're going to have that sooner than robot. You're going not androids, but you're going to have bio kind of tech. It's going to be a mixture of organic and mechanical or computer technology with arms and limbs.
If you could grow a Tom Martino in your closet, a clone with no brain, I'm being serious, no brain, but you have the arms, the legs, any parts you might need, heart, would you do it?
and to have parts, why wouldn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I don't know. People say it's evil to clone, but
well, actually, I didn't think of that part of it. I don't know. I mean, that now you throw a whole wrinkle into it. I don't know. I mean, but what's really weird is the idea of being able to transplant consciousness or the brain, and they're working on it.
Black
Mirror. When I say they, well, consciousness or the brain. You know, let's face it. The brain is consciousness. The brain doesn't seem to age like the body does. And when you, I mean, it ages
until it gets a disease.
Exactly. That, yeah. It does age because of lack of circulation. What I mean is the tissue itself doesn't seem to react to aging the same way as a muscle does, or a limb or something, or teeth. It seems to be very resilient. It's almost as if this brain was meant to support a much longer lifespan. If you look
than what
at
the body does.
If you look at its capacity, it's like out of place. So yeah, there's a lot of, I love technology and I love science fiction, and when you mix the two, my God, what you can imagine, what you think is impossible, it turns out to be sometimes not impossible. But one thing I truly believe will never, ever, 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 ever see is anything to do with time travel. Because I just think that, I just don't think ever you will see that. I mean,
see, I disagree.
You really believe that there could possibly be a way?
Well, if you were frozen in time, like Walt Disney,
well, that's different.
And woken up 100 years later, that is time travel, right?
Yeah, being transported to another time, absolutely. No, I'm talking about a machine where you literally experience rapid time passage or go back in time. I don't know. It's... But I love talking about this stuff. Alaram is a Pro Auto Care. Now,
wow, what a conversation.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a time machine right here. You've been in business 26 years, and I'll bet you that 10 years ago, this would still be a good deal.
It would be. And then, Tom, let me just add to the whole thing. That robot thing, I give that 10 to 15 years, we're going to start seeing robots in the house.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I bought one of those robot vacuums. The old vacuum I had, I got rid of it.
Roomba.
Oh, do you actually have a Roomba?
Yeah, those are unbelievable.
Wow. Okay, so...
Yeah, I got rid of the vacuum because it was collecting dust. So I just said it was time to get rid of it.
That is cool. You know, our vacuum collects dust, too.
I got the Suze model.
303-713-TALK. 26 years in business, so you're in honor of that. What are you doing?
Just, how about an oil change that everybody needs? That's why I put this on here, but you got to call when you hear me. You can't call tomorrow and think I'm going to give the deal. It's today.
Okay.
$26.
Now, you don't have to have it done today.
No, but schedule it.
All right.
I'm going to do synthetic blend oil change, tire rotation, full inspection, battery test, charging system test, top all your fluid, including your washer. I'm going to do all your tires and inspection. I'm going to do that for $26. If you need an air filter, $19.95. I'm giving you a great deal on good products, good service.
Yeah.
Been doing it for years.
That's it. That is the great package for $26 with tire rotation. 303 Pro Auto near Evans and I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. Those two areas. 303proauto.com for details on the dealership, or on the maintenance facility, whatever you want to call it, and free roadside assistance in between all of the service. 303 Pro Auto.
This report is brought to you by NBC's The Voice.
He thought the guy was outside.
Oh, he was calling him in.
That was the long and short.
Oh,
what do you mean he was calling him in?
He was telling him he was on the radio. They said he did a good job about saying what's going on.
He was a resource officer too, which is really. What's his name? He knew those.
Scott Peterson.
My God, is he
coward?
Can you imagine? You know that? Gosh, it must be really like. He killed Lacey, right? What do you mean? Oh, that Peterson. Wasn't that Scott Peterson?
I think you're right.
He killed Lacey. They finally found her like in a body of water years later. Didn't they do a movie on her?
Oh, he's a young guy, right?
Fertilizer salesman on death row right now. In 2004, he was convicted of first-degree murder of his pregnant wife, Lacey Peterson. He was out, like, celebrating that night, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was really bizarre, man.
Yeah, with another guy.
Yeah, they found her in a marina. He went fishing that.
She's good looking, too.
Look, they have a mugshot of Scott Peterson almost like he's a freaking criminal.
I would guess he's a sociopath.
Now, this guy, no, I'm talking about Scott. The guy that was his life's ruined.
Absolutely.
He was ready to retire, though, right?
Ready to retire.
According to Dan, he didn't go in because he wanted to go fishing.
He had a fishing thing going on next week. Not kidding. Didn't want to mix fishing.
Didn't want to ruin his retirement with death.
I'll bet you.
What sucks though is he was a resource officer. You would think if anybody would go on, that guy knows those kids, man. Sees them every day, all of them.
And then he just, instead of, so he says that, but he retires so he doesn't have to go through the investigation.
Oh, they can still, well, okay, that's interesting, yeah. What are they going to threaten them with? They have to come after him with some form of charges.
Because he's put on suspension.
Can you imagine? He called him out. Trump. Oh yeah, of course.
Who called him out?
He called him a coward.
Trump.
Oh yeah.
You're not a credit.
He basically called him a coward. Trump, I would have run into Florida school.
I've been a school resource officer for 25 years.
I mean, you're actually right. He knew the kids personally.
Oh, I know the resource people at Hondo. You walk in, they're always there, same cops all the time. They know the students.
Listen to him.
Most of them skateboarders, most of them juveniles. Get them, hey, get out, don't come back. And now Peterson is known nationwide for his active action.
But you're right, his life
Douglas High School is 17.
And you gotta wonder.
Listen. To be too good, I will tell you that. He turned out to be not good. He was not a credit to law enforcement. PSO says Cruz entered the high school's building. Well, on the east side, where he shot into 4 classrooms. He then took the stairs to the second floor.
Absolutely horrible.
You might as well snuck out.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. We got Plumline Services with us. What screaming deal do you want to give before you leave? It's got to be something new. No, I mean, you can give us one, but then I'm going to add a twist to it.
Okay. So we got our $29 furnace tune-up going on right now. And then with spring coming up, I'll tell you what, if you do your furnace and your air conditioner at the same time, we'll do them both for $59. And if you need to replace your equipment, we've been running the half off the furnace if you purchase an air conditioner. For Tom Martino listeners, I'll do a free furnace. You got to pay the installation. I'll do a free furnace with the purchase of an air conditioner, and we'll have financing up to 72 months depending on the equipment that you buy.
I want to, okay, now, I want to do another, so if they say serendipity.
We used serendipity last time. We're going to come up with another one.
Okay, say
Serenity now.
No, if they say troubleshooter, they get an extra $200 off no matter what on the furnace deal.
On the replacement?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
All right.
$200 off.
Just
if they say what are they saying? Troubleshooter? Okay.
Troubleshooter.
All right.
All right. 303-713-TALK. I want to get to these calls pretty quick. Matthew, what's going on, man?
So, Tom, on the 17th, I purchased a new vehicle from the dealership. When I finished the financing part, the salesman came out and said, you can't take the vehicle because that vehicle's on recall. They did give me a loaner vehicle.
That's weird.
That's what I thought.
I'd be livid.
I would be livid.
I would be livid. What dealer was this?
Well,
God, don't say O'Mara.
I haven't took possession of the vehicle because they said the vehicle won't be ready till the 3rd. So I don't want to make it more uncomfortable.
They didn't say one word while you were there.
They won't know who you are right now. Just who is it?
Loveland Ford.
Okay, yeah.
But they didn't say one word while you were there about the recall.
Buying it.
No, sir. So
oh my God, I'd lose it.
No, what? He told me after they approved him, they told him that
and then he went through with
recall.
it. And he went through.
What a crappy move!
No, he went through with it knowing.
Oh, knowing.
No, I financed the vehicle, and after I financed the vehicle, they came around the corner and said, "Listen, your vehicle's on recall."
After he bought it.
Oh.
After I bought it.
I thought you said after approval, but before you bought it. But this is after you bought it. This sucks. So hold on, I want to know something. Well, this sucks. I mean,
well,
that's tomfoolery. That's trickery. That's crap.
What recall is it? How serious is it?
I looked it up. It's a curtain side airbag. So what I don't get is how can I test drive the vehicle, but I can't take it if there's a recall? Because A recall is because it's dangerous, correct?
You know, Suzanne just said something in my ear, and I think I heard Rolly say this before. Maybe it was Colorado Springs Dodge.
That airbag stuff, I had a dealer tell me they can't sell cars that have recalls on them.
Okay.
That's my
And that's what these guys did.
Would that have changed your decision to buy it?
No, sir, because I was
Wait a minute.
Hold on. He said it wouldn't change his mind anyway.
So if you knew, you would have bought that car knowing you couldn't take that car?
No, that's not. I went in there. We looked online, and I was going to buy the vehicle.
Matthew, I asked you a simple question right now. Had you gone back in time and they said to you, Matthew, before you sign, I need you to know there's a recall and we can't let it go until we get that done, would you have still purchased it?
No, because I didn't wait. When I want to buy the vehicle, I want to leave with a vehicle that's mine.
Then do you want us to get you out of the deal? Is that what you're calling about?
Well, my wife wants the vehicle,
okay,
but
then,
I want some.
You want something different?
You want out of the deal or not? That's a very straightforward question.
That recall on the airbag's nothing. It's not going to affect the merchantability.
It depends on how long it takes, though.
No, yeah, the time. I'm not talking about the time, though. It's not like a cosmetic. It would bother me, like, for example, if they had to change out something that would, you know, they have to match paint or stuff, and that's not the case. So what do you want, Matthew? Why are you calling?
If his wife wants the car, do the smart thing. If his wife wants the car, give her the car.
Matthew, you heard that one.
Yeah, but how about, okay, guys, how about if it takes a month?
It's almost take. So, Matthew, what?
They put the airbags on back order. Maybe the 3rd. They're on back order.
What do you want?
Well, I want the vehicle, but I don't know, I feel bad saying this.
I know, you want something
for me.
You're right, and I don't blame you at all for that.
How about a full car payment?
No, something, no, but Mark, he has a point. Doing something for him is, like, even if it's a coupon for its maintenance.
I just don't like how they tricked him. I find that outrageous.
That's what, every time I keep stewing on it, I just feel they...
All right, we're going to have Deputy Dan make some calls on it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, it'll take a little longer than Deputy Clint, but he will make some calls. I'm just kidding. We have fun here. Plumline Services, don't forget their deal. And then AAA Emergency Tree Service, good people. We have good people at referralist.com, and save all your problems for me. Get a licensed plumber or HVAC tech in your home for just...
Hey, what was that song? He doesn't know Seinfeld by right. What was that song you were saying that you thought it was Lemon?
That was from a different one.
Downtown, yeah, you're right.
You know that's
where he had to go to payroll.
Assignment, yes.
He had to go to payroll.
For the Yankees.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, I was going to read that.
What was the name of the carpet cleaners? That George's boss.
Sunshine.
Oh, thanks.
Nicole.
Isn't there anything else?
I couldn't believe this.
Yes, you forgot to sign your check.
I miss all the time. I don't want to miss all the time.
Well, it helps having the trash can up.
He usually gets Diet Coke everywhere on that wall.
Hey, Joe, Dan says hi.
There you go.
Daniel.